Culture Minefield. This is how it is today. This is how it is today on Pop Culture Minefield.
I like that song. It's a jaunty little tune.
Yeah.
Get your butts dancing in the seats. Yeah.
Yes, it's bouncy music.
So I don't see Alex or Dawn here from Phoenix. So
Did you send a reminder?
How am I going to do that? I'm in the middle of doing other things. It's like I can't. There was no time to do that. And I don't have them right on the end of my fucking make a contact. So it's too bad. And of course, I'm talking about Alex, Lady Bellfire's man. They're not married yet, but they're going to be getting married. And he and Dawn said they wanted to join me today for the show, but we haven't seen hide nor hair of them this morning. So I hope they remember, because I have no way of contacting them. So Sasha Fred is here. We have 5 watching us right now. Yay. Yay us. Yay.
And we shall have more.
Yeah.
We are not going to talk about the events the last 48 hours.
Nope, talked about that enough.
This channel is all about being proactive and positive. And all I can say in a positive and proactive way is we're going to see a big change in November.
And I'm wearing the championship hat from 16 till the day he gets elected. So there you go.
And that's as political as we're going to get, because just don't.
That's right.
That's not what this show's about. This show is about celebrating military movies and TV shows. And by the way, I'm excited. We got a new season of SEAL. Looks like it's the final season. I'm hoping with the sell of Paramount, we're going to see a change to that, because apparently Tom Cruise approved of this merger. He was all for it. He says you're going to see a lot of things open up because of this deal. I hope so. Now, it's, to my knowledge, this is not a closed deal yet. You know, meaning that everything's signed and money has been transferred. But it has been agreed upon. So we're going to keep our eyes on it. Keith and I met, we talk pretty regularly on Twitter. I mean, not Twitter, on Facebook Messenger. In fact, I'm going to open this up because it looks like I got a message from him. Yes, I did. If this film is half as good as Disney wants it to be and believes it will be, then how about we give Kevin Feige a 3-year vacation from MCU films and have Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy step in to take over Marvel. That's Keith this morning. Keith is a radical.
I mean, I can see Ryan Reynolds do that. Why not?
Oh yeah, he'd do it in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And this went in with a message link to a YouTube variety interview with Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and director Sean Levy on how they convinced Marvel to let them do what they're going to do. There you go. That's interesting news. I'm going to share the link. Hold on, let me get the link for you guys, and I'll share it. If you guys want to go check out this interview. Oh, fucking ads. Hold on, I got to refresh it. They've managed to get ads in over on Firefox every once in a while. And all you got to do is refresh the page the minute it starts. And it disappears.
I'm only using YouTube in Brave now, and it's ad-free. It's fantastic.
Yep. Brave is awesome.
Yes,
there it is. There's
Brave.
that word. There's There's
Because
the word
it's-
she says,
Yeah. no.
almost like Arnold.
Mm.
Fantastic.
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 Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I say it nice.
All right. This is anybody who wants this. Here's the interview. Just posted it. That is the link to the Variety interview with Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and Sean Levy. And I stand totally with Keith on that. I think that Ryan Reynolds and Sean Levy as a team could do far better than this crap that Kevin Feige has done over the last, was it 8 years? After
It's not difficult to be better
it went
than
bad in
Feige, come on.
2018. That's when it started going south, is in 2018.
Hmm.
I never realized I wasn't subscribed to Variety. Wow. Okay.
In general, remember, that's when the Star Wars started to go really real bad, and the video games started to go real bad. I mean, comics started to go real bad. From 17 on, everything in industry got ultra woke.
I just got a notification from Rumble. Just need to see what it is.
2017. It's been going
Oh.
on that long.
It's
Jesus.
letting me know that while our show is streaming on Rumble, that Culture Casino, it told me Culture Casino. I just got notifications that Culture Casino is streaming. And then just while I was talking to you, we got a notification that we're streaming.
Yes.
Man, I love Culture. Rumble needs to get its head out of its ass and
Does.
push. It's not pushing to get stuff done correctly.
Hey,
Guten
Sci-Fi Mom is in
Morgen,
the house.
Sci-Fi Mombi.
Morning, I guess.
There's a lot of people using the big green play button. There's a lot of people using it.
Oh, yep.
Oh yeah.
Me and
And
Danny have
that's-
decided to call it Bumble, the platform that bounces.
That's cute.
I tell you though, we're earning a little bit over on Rumble now, and we're getting some decent views over there. Not great views or good views, but decent views. I don't know how to master the Rumble thing. Like Fat Steven Seagal, man, he just grew over there. So
Every one of my shows goes out on the bouncing platform. Yes.
yeah,
Every
we
one.
were having problem with that too, Sci-Fi Mombi, until Martin figured it out. Apparently, you have to be from Venezuela to understand how Rumble works.
God damn it! I thought you were talking seriously.
The only problem I have with it is you have to set up every stream individually. That's the
Yeah,
part
That's
pisses
what
me
he's
off.
discovered. Yeah.
I
individually.
tried using
and
it. That they beta tested a static link where
Yeah,
you could
mhm.
always use it, and it never worked for me. So I'm going back to doing it individually.
There's that, and there's the fact that you cannot plan ahead more than 24 hours.
No more than 24 hours either. Yeah. This thing Gerry likes to do months ahead of time, plan something. Yeah, you can do it all day long, but you can't set up the page until 24 hours beforehand.
Yeah, the nice thing is we have, Rumble already in there. So all you got to do is when you get close to the show.
It's a copy and
Rumble to
paste thing, but it's just another
And,
chore you got to go through.
But they
man,
need to
you know?
change it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You're shit out of luck being from Missouri.
By the way, I
I'm in
found out
Missouri,
this-
so
found out this weekend the hard way that you have to be a checkmark person to live stream on X now.
No.
yeah, that's
we're
why we
live
couldn't go
stream right
live.
now.
Apparently,
So what
we're
now?
live streaming on my account on Twitter. Facebook wouldn't launch because apparently I
Hey,
don't
right.
recall seeing a notification, and I don't get paid for another 5-6. It'll be Monday, I think, the 21st. Isn't the Monday the 21st, or is it the 22nd? 22nd. I'll get paid, and then I'll be able to update the Twitter account to pro.
Yeah.
'Cause I thought I
the-
paid for it last week, and I'm broke now. So they took all my money.
I've
We
been
have
Figured-
deleted scenes in the house.
Yeah, I hung up with that asshole last night. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I
Where you
like.
at deleted scenes?
Well, I was distracted. I was working, and then I looked at the time and oh my god, I missed it. And I jumped on there to see if he was still there, and he was still there. And he shouldn't have done that, because it wasn't necessary. But he made everybody stay longer because I jumped in late.
Yep. But I've been
And,
streaming on X since I've found out that you could do it, and sure enough, one day this week I tried to do it, and it said you have to be verified to stream, and I was like, wow,
Yeah, and that's bullshit.
Thanks a lot,
That
Elon.
I consider that bullshit.
It is bullshit. They were letting me do it,
But
now I can't.
look, man, he's running a business. It's his fucking business.
That's right.
I don't
That's
like
right.
it.
If I want to go back to that platform, I'll pay the $8. No problem. That's the new rule. Fine.
And I like it because it's the Wild West over on them. You can
It is.
speak your mind for the most part, unless you are threatening or trying to incite violence.
Yeah.
You can say pretty much anything else.
Mhm.
You can speak your fucking mind on Twitter. And like I said, unless you're menacing or threatening somebody, you can say what you want, but somebody else can also let you know. I had some people that don't follow me because I have to follow you for you to be able to comment on my stuff. And the reason why is because I don't let trolls on there. Now I have people that disagree with me that comment on my stuff all the time, and I don't mind that because these are people I follow. But I won't have strangers, and they go, "Oh, so you've got your comments blocked?" I went, no, I just have to follow you, and it looks to me like you're a fucking asshole. So, do you think there's a good chance of me following you? No. I keep getting. Oh, this must be Don. Hold on, Don Ecker.
Sure. Deleted scenes.
We didn't talk this weekend at all. We did not talk at all this weekend, but I've been busy.
That's
man.
true. We had a pretty uninterrupted date night last night.
Deleted
And I was
scenes.
kind of
Are you
weirded
verified
out
on
by
X?
that.
Because if I'm just talking about people that aren't verified on X, people that don't pay the $8. If you're verified on X, you can do it.
Looks like we're doing a best of tonight.
What do you mean a best of?
I'm asking
Pre-recorded?
him right now if Doomcock got a hold of him because Doomcock wants to come on the show.
Oh, nice.
I really want for this to happen.
I really want to meet
I did
Doomcock.
too. It was set to happen a week ago, and
Yeah.
things fell apart last second. And so
Good luck, fellers.
Real Rock is in the
so
house.
you guys go ahead and talk for a second. I have to talk to Don here for a second.
Hi, Tree Rock.
So
You need to teach Don when you're not available, like when you're doing a show.
Like
I don't
he's
mind
gonna
inviting
care.
him to date night, but-
Good luck with that. He's old and set in his ways. Come on, Anima.
Yeah,
That
I
ain't gonna
know.
happen.
all right.
That's
Yeah,
Real
but
Rock
deleted
says.
scenes. Are you verified? Because if you're verified,
I have
you
hope
can-
in people, you know.
Real Rock says, "Who wants to follow an a-hole? They stink."
Yeah, right.
Okay. Sci-Fi Mommy says she's verified on X, but
Yeah.
for the podcast,
Yeah.
not her personal account.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
Just
need
telling
that
you
on
what
your
I ran
personal-
into. It happened to me on one stream this week. You know how whenever you forget to set up Rumble, it'll have the exclamation point. Your thing's not going out, right?
Yep.
That's what happened. Only it was under the X portion, and I've been streaming on X for a while. You can go look at my page.
Well, Joe got his experience on that one channel for what is it called, where you strip and stuff like that for people for money.
Oh my God! you look, you
Shut
evil
up, Gerry.
bastard! You wish I was on OnlyFans.
That's why he's always in his bathrobe. That's why he's in his bathrobe. You guys don't know
Now it
that.
makes
He-
sense.
Hey,
He comes
Hugh
to the
Hefner was not
he
gay,
comes
my
to the
friend.
show right
He
after.
walked around in the damn robe, okay? No.
Probably goes
Nobody's
back
again.
to it right after we finish. That's why he jumps out so quickly out of the after show.
Yeah.
Now all of it makes sense.
I was talking
Money.
with Troy Parcelli, and I started doing some typical Gerry shit last night on Stephen's show, and deleted scene show. And Troy Parcelli, he's like, "That's what I love about you, man." I said, "I know, I'm a dick. I'll just say things just to be arbitrary."
It's called having fun.
But gotta say, it's I woke up not hurting today, which is nice,
That is
and
great news. Yes.
That pillow seems to be a
'cause,
game
my
changer.
spine has been so achy. I got to tell you, between that new pillow and my neck pillow and neck brace, it helps a lot. The only problem is sometimes when I wake up, like today, I woke up, I have that dull pain where the nerve has been pinched during the night. But what I discovered is that if I want to lay on my left side, normally I can't lay on my left side, but if I want to, if I put one of those big pillows that will hold my arm up level with my shoulder, I can sleep on my left side. But during the night, sometimes that pillow will slip and my arm will drop down a little bit. And so I woke up with just some tension here on the left side, that dull, throbby. It feels like pain going through clay is what it feels like. It's hard to describe that slow nerve pinching pain that I get. And okay, I'll see you later. Lauren's leaving. So ironically, I want to point out that Lauren went out to the garage last night and moved some of my things into my room because we got people coming over, electricians coming over to work on the house. And so some of the stuff had to be moved, especially stuff that she was afraid would get damaged. And so she and Brad went up there and moved some of my things into my room while we were doing a show yesterday, or while you and I were date night yesterday. And so when I got in my room last night, I found my headset.
Yay!
And I found
Oh,
my game controller.
That's right.
My game
it's the
controller.
headset.
And I found my other pen that was missing.
Dude,
I thought they were
told you
gone.
the pen is not gone. Now you can sell
Well,
one of them.
it was stuffed in a box because it was sitting loose, but they put it in a box, so that's why I couldn't find it. And I'm just so excited that now I have two pens. If one breaks, I have another one, and I've got my game controller back, so I might try some gaming, but I doubt I'm going to get very far with it because the connection here in the in Sparta, Missouri, BFE. And those of you who know the BFE, Anima learned because of me. It's bumfuck Egypt.
Yes.
Means you're out in the middle of no fucking where.
Susan Hubley, wasn't she married to Kurt Russell at the time this was made?
Who?
Susan Hubley.
Oh, Susan was. Yeah, they're still married.
Yeah, that's.
And she's a cutie, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know, he picked somebody who was just adorable. And
Gerry,
but he made a little movie.
Crack addict. Yeah.
he makes a little movie about World War II where the people that stayed behind and continued working, his character was 4F, and so he had to stay stateside, and he meets this other actor named Goldie Hawn, and sparks flew the minute they met.
Yeah.
1988, the crime rate in the United States rises 400%, becomes one of the maximum. Yeah, New York City, Manhattan Island becomes the maximum security prison. Ironically, this was his reaction to Ronald Reagan. He says Ronald Reagan's going to make a federal police force. No, it was Bill Clinton that tried to make that, and he was stopped.
And what's funny to me is the year that this takes place.
Oh yes, 97.
And he has pointed it out.
Yeah.
Carpenter has pointed out the fact that everything he was afraid of that led to so many of his films ended up becoming partially true, but it was the party he supported that did it. And he admitted to it. He's like, very disappointing. Now, they did some amazing trick photography here and just brilliant fucking shit where you would be on one location and Dean Cundy was genius with the way he would move the camera, go into a shadow, and then come back out and you're at a new location.
Oh, that shot on Liberty
right
Island,
now
that
they're in
was
a studio.
brilliant.
Mhm.
Yeah, the whole thing on Liberty Island was brilliant. And
We
we
spent, like,
haven't even
2
seen that wipe yet. That wipe
Yeah.
takes place as I think Tom Atkins is walking over to the command center, and the camera follows him, and he goes inside, and then we look, and we can see inside of a window, and there's somebody in there. Then we go by it. It says the name of the island again, and then we move into shadow, and we come out, and we're at the fucking LA Basin.
We
It
spent
was,
2 hours
and he
yesterday
timed it.
just watching
He
making of
timed it.
videos. It's fascinating.
Yeah, he timed it to be exact, and it was the best wipe I've ever seen done manually without a computer. Dean Cundy is. I told you when we watched it, Dean Cundy is one of the best DPs out there. We still got him. He's still working. Thank God. He's an
How old
amazing
is
guy.
he?
And fucking 70s, man.
Mm.
Late 70s, I think. But he's still working, man. Dean Cundy is. His lenses are some of the best lenses. So when you get these, like in John Carpenter's films, you absolutely get lens flares, but they're non-obtrusive flares, but they're there. And they
Oh.
look good when he does it.
Mhm.
Like when in The Thing, when you see Kurt Russell popping that fucking flare and he walks outside and get that flare going, you got lens flares from it.
Yeah, but
Beautiful.
they're not staring
From
you in the
lens
face.
heat
They don't sit there on the screen forever.
and blocking
Yeah.
what you need to see.
Right.
And they're
Now
there
there
for
it
a
is, right there,
reason.
Liberty Island security system, center control, and now you're in LA. You were on Liberty Island a second ago, and now you're in Los Angeles. And of course, that's a famous location, also used in another classic sci-fi film, Buckaroo Banzai. At the end,
They
where
love
you
to
see
shoot in
them
the basin,
walking and
don't they? Man, it's
dancing to,
ridiculous.
snapping
Yeah.
their fingers to the music, that was shot
Mhm.
right there, the LA Basin.
Oh my God, Grease had a car chase film there. Friggin' Terminator has a scene in it, the second one, and yeah,
I'm going to admit to
that's
something
got
here,
to be
Joe.
one of the most used locations. What's the name of
Dude,
that road in San
Joe.
Francisco
Bluth.
they use a lot?
Joe.
Lombard Street, I think.
Joe.
Yeah.
Joe.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit something to you right now. Everybody can hear it, so please don't share this.
Uh-oh.
I have
Okay, I'm sorry.
I've never seen Grease.
What?
Oh, you are blessed then.
Me neither.
What?
Haha.
I've
Oh, what's
never
wrong with
watched
you
it.
guys?
I've seen clips. I've seen the trailer, and I've never watched the film. Love the music, especially when what's his name did the new song for the film that wasn't in the musical. Grease is the word. It was a disco song. I love the soundtrack, man. But never seen the
Good
movie.
for you.
I've actually seen Grease 2, but never seen Grease 1. I saw Grease 2 because a girl I was going out with said it was her favorite movie and wanted me to watch it, and I watched it. And then I immediately broke up with her and ghosted her because I'm
You
like,
should have. Yes.
you've got to be insane to fucking love that movie.
The only good thing about that movie is
Did you
Michelle
know
Pfeiffer. That's it.
at the plane hijacks? Yeah, I brought that up during watching it yesterday. That's Gerald Ford's son. Can't act worth a lick, but I always love the fact that was Gerald Ford's son. That's the Secret Service agent trying to break into the cockpit. Very badly. He's like thumping the door gently with the fucking butt of his rifle. I'm like, does this guy not know how to fucking hold a weapon and hit a door?
Nope.
You always do one thing. You're trained if you're going to use your weapon to try to breach, make sure that fucking thing is not aimed at anybody else or you. Because a lot of soldiers have done that and gotten killed, shooting themselves. That's what I hear, D. Bud Martin, that it's not just oh my God, I just forgot the word, the song. Grease is the word, but Peter Griffin loves another one that's the word.
All I can tell you is if you're an Andrew Dice Clay fan and you haven't seen Grease, you don't know where his character comes from.
Yeah.
It's
He's
John Travolta
clearly
in Grease.
an homage. Yeah, it's an homage to Jerry Lewis as the nutty professor when he's the cool character, as mixed with Travolta from Grease, and there you have it. That's his character. The bird. There you go. Thank you. The bird is the word. Yes, Sci-Fi Mombi, you got it too. The bird is the word. I don't know why,
Oh,
but I love that.
Donald
Whenever Family
Pleasant.
Guy finds a way to slip into that, I do. I love it. It just makes me giggle. Haven't you heard? What? No, Brian, no.
Haven't you heard?
Now, what's funny is at this point, that was a rumor that there was a pod on Air Force One. And it wasn't until Harrison Ford played the president that they referred to it again. And there is a pod on there, and there is a pod on Air Force One. It doesn't look like an egg, and it's not painted red.
Yeah,
What?
with the big red with the presidential seal. You would think that it would be more inconspicuous.
Yeah, right? So, I mean, you want to be easily found, but you use that through GPS. You don't paint it bright red for bad guys to see it and shoot at. Yeah. So, but anyway, I still love this movie, and they were the first ones to ever talk about there being a pod, an escape pod on Air Force One. The visual effects, one of the people involved in the visual effects for this, specifically focused on the matte paintings, was a young man named Jim Cameron. And he was scooped up by John Carpenter with a bunch of other guys that were working on Roger Corman projects. So I always thought that was cool. And within 2 years, he was making Terminator. I got to tell you something. I would still rather watch that than some other bad Westerns from the 60s. I love the film. The music is just awful. And Lee Marvin and Clint Eastwood singing. Man.
Paint you
Well,
lagging?
can't be worse than
Oh.
Pierce Brosnan singing.
Oh my God.
Pierce Brosnan singing.
Did you see Mamma Mia?
Mamma Mia. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was
See, first of all, no, because I want
I
to
saw
keep my
trailer and
man
that was
card.
enough.
I'm married, so of
Well,
course
I
I've
just
seen
want
Mamma
to keep
Mia.
my man card. I will never watch that. It's like that's just an invitation for someone to pull your damn man card, Martin.
they can
I'm
try.
married, so I have to watch movies like that. Sorry. Pull my man card if you have
Martin
to.
is like,
So.
that is why I live south of the border. You live at Taco
Hey,
Bell?
Boom.
Let's see, what is this? I don't even like paint. Yeah, I saw that one. There have been several Monday films here that I have not seen.
He was answering me.
This
I told him,
movie's
I said, I
amazing
can't get
because
mad at
from
him
the
about
beginning-
Grease.
Absolutely. This is something Script Doctor and I've talked about, that this is technically a perfect film. Structurally, visually. So most of the effects hold up to this day. And I got to watch it in 4K, and it's amazing to see.
This is a creepy
graphic-
dude.
oh, I love
right
that
here,
scene.
Man. Wow.
Here, I've got to play the clip now. I've got
Yes,
to play the
please.
clip because
Absolutely.
Romero was one of my favorite characters, and the actor that played him is like he was the central bad guy that you got to see kill people in Assault on Precinct 13.
Yeah.
And Carpenter liked him because he's weird, and he showed up. This look that he has was all him. There was no makeup given to him by the
He's
film.
got a Steve
That's how he
Buscemi
showed
quality to him. Yeah.
Yes.
He's got a
He
weird
does,
look.
with his eyes.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing that would make him more Buscemi is if one of his eyes was off kilter.
Right.
Yeah.
That fucking
That's
bow,
awesome.
man. That was all him. That was not Carpenter. Oh my god, this guy is so fucking good.
The way he gestures on
touch me, he dies. If you're not in the air in 30 seconds, he dies. If you come back in, he dies.
The way he does the countdown and all that stuff, man, it's badass.
I'm sorry, you were saying something, Anima.
I said the way he gestures all the time. He doesn't always talk. Sometimes he just uses his hands, and it's
He
so
exaggerates movement.
Yes.
He exaggerates
He even
movement.
exaggerates dying. Come on.
Yeah, he's fucking dying and he's still over emoting. It's so fucking cool.
I hope you
love
got that one,
character,
too.
Romero.
20 seconds.
I'm ready to talk.
19. 18.
What do you want?
Just good stuff, man.
Yeah, it's not a conversation. He's just dispensing information. That's all he's doing. The guy keeps asking questions.
And he continues
like,
counting
16,
down.
15.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, we gotta go."
Yeah, Lee Cleef thinks he's having a conversation, but that guy's just dispensing information.
Exactly. And I will point out that yes, Carpenter was directly involved with the writing of the theme, but he also worked hand in hand with Alan Howarth, which is why he gives credit to Alan Howarth. Howarth has said, you know, he was very kind to give me credit because all he did was the technical shit. You know, John did all the creating, the music. But Alan Howarth was one of the first guys to use sequencers, and they use a sequencer in this music. What's that?
D-Bud, man.
Oh.
Oh.
What did he say? I can't read it right now.
He's saying that the metalhead known as Gerry sings ABBA in the shower. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's why he only takes showers when he's alone
I sing
at the
it
house.
metal. Yeah, but I sing it metal. Come on.
Come on. At least it's metal when he sings it. Oh man, that's too good.
So, all right, let's get back to Romero threatening to kill the president. A few of the actors have been in many of Carpenter movies. The actor who plays the medical Cronenberg played the store clerk in the opening of The Fog. Absolutely. I mean, the cast in this film. Let me lay out the cast in this film. Kurt Russell, first of all, fought to get this role. Lee Van fucking Cleef is in this. Ernest fucking Borgnine is in this. An Oscar-winning actor. Yeah, the original Borg, actually, yeah. Donald Pleasance is in this. Isaac fucking Hayes is in this. Susan Hubley, I didn't know who the fuck she was. Honestly, I don't know who the Harry fucking Dean Stanton. One of the greatest character actors to ever grace the screen, man. Adrian Barbeau is in it. Another John Carpenter regular, Tom Atkins, is in it. You've got Joe Unger, but he's in a deleted scene, but he was brought onto the film. John Cothran is in it. Most people don't know who he is. He's another character actor, great fucking actor.
Because you said in the deleted scene, do you mean the beginning that got cut out?
Frank Doubleday.
Yes,
he's in that scene.
Yeah.
Frank Doubleday, and Frank Doubleday is Romero. He's the weird guy, and he's weird in the movie if you watch him. That scene when he shoots that little girl through the driver's compartment of the ice cream truck, just calmly, like it's nothing. Just she looks at her. She goes, "Hey, you forgot my sprinkles, huh?" And she's fucking dead. John Carpenter showed a child being murdered on screen. He's an edgy director, man. Edgy fucking director.
What I've always dug about this movie,
that little girl.
I doubt you're going to find as many 60s icons in one movie in the 80s as this movie.
Right. 50s and 60s.
Yep.
Donald Pleasance, you know, he became a notable commodity because of the movie The Great Escape, which we'll be doing pretty soon. And Donald Pleasance, few people know, served in the military, was captured and held as a POW. And he had offered the director advice, and the director really dismissed him over it. And James Garner, on right on point, fucking let him know that guy was a POW at the actual camp. So you need to listen to him. And then Bronson, after they were done shooting for the day, went and had a private meeting with the director. And from that point forward, Donald Pleasance became the technical advisor for the film. And he's
I love that conversation. We kind of zipped past it, but that's two old war vets that fought against each other in a war. And yeah, that conversation's neat. We knew about you too, Pliskin.
Well, they didn't fight against each other. They both served special forces in the U.S. Army.
Right.
They were on different teams. And he points that out. He goes, I know who you are. And he's like, I know who you are, you know. But I want to point out something that maybe you guys have never noticed before with this film. Or as Minty would say in his stupid videos. I love his videos, but God, I hate his jokes. He's just the most unfunny motherfucker I've ever seen. But he always says 10 things you didn't know. Then he finally started putting probably didn't know, because odds are if you're someone like me, you fucking know these things. And the fact is that Snake Plissken never starts a conversation.
He reacts. Yeah.
Always responding.
I never picked up on that.
And
then you said it halfway through the movie, and I couldn't not notice it.
Yeah, and it's, you know, one of the first things he says is after Houck has been blathering already, and he takes a puff off the cigarette, and then he exhales and says his line. And perfect that he did that. And by the way, the two great Western actors that Kurt Russell has done an impression of in two films by John Carpenter. This film was Clint Eastwood, and in Big Trouble in Little China was his overboard impression of John Wayne.
Yeah.
His swagger,
complete with
everything.
The accent and everything. Yeah.
Accent and everything. Kurt's just, I fucking love Kurt. He's so good.
Kurt is awesome, man. He's probably the most underrated actor in Hollywood, dude. He's fantastic. I've never seen a movie with him in it that I didn't like on some level. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm a big fan, and I own a copy of the movie that killed his Disney career. There's a made-for-TV movie called The Deadly Tower about the sniper at the Texas Tower.
He was great as Elvis on television, man.
Oh, yeah. I don't have that movie. And John Carpenter directed it. That's how they met. And they immediately got along. And proof again, I point this out, of somebody who's conservative hanging out with a big liberal friend. That, you know, one's conservative, the other one's liberal. And they're the
John
best of friends,
Carpenter
man.
is one of the biggest libs that ever walked the planet. Yeah.
Keith and I are so politically opposed, but we never argue, and we love talking to each other. We never talk over one another. We have great conversations. I think some of the best conversations I've ever had is with Keith. That's why I wanted to do shows with him. Yep. The tape recording inside has to reach Hartford in 22 hours. He doesn't have to save the president. He has to save the tape. It's really what the people aren't quite catching with this film. Yeah. Is that tape. If you get the president without the tape, we don't care.
We don't care.
You're going to die.
It's the tape.
We're not going to help you. We're not going to take you, and we're not going to save you. And so this is the big injection scene. And I hate this fucking thing. I hate this fucking thing.
What happened?
Went backwards.
I went to
for a second.
pause. I love they show all the weapons he picks. And
some of those throwing stars look wholly unbelievable, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not going to use it. Impractical. Knives are better. I wouldn't have a shuriken, but this was the 80s. And John Carpenter thought he'd probably want shurikens. No, he'd want knives.
Yeah.
He'd want stabby implements and knives you can actually throw that are weighted. So here we go. I'm going to play the first clip.
That idea you had about turning the Gulf fire around 180 degrees and flying off to Canada.
What did you do to me, asshole?
My idea, Pliskin.
What'd you do to me, asshole? Yeah.
And I love it. The asshole is the one who said, tell him what I just did.
Right.
I love the part where he says, I don't like needles.
Yeah. Such a tough guy, and he doesn't like needles. I mean, it's not needles though. They're fucking big.
Yeah, I've seen the crossover, Shinatsky. It's good stuff.
Really? I have to find
Yeah.
that, man. That sounds cool.
Whoa.
Dexter
There
Riley,
you are.
that's right.
There you are.
Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
Dexter Riley, that's the first thing I remember of Kurt Russell. All those Dexter Riley movies. My favorite one is The Strongest Man
Computer
in the
That Wore
World.
Tennis
Love that
Shoes.
movie.
That was my favorite.
Which
Computer
one?
That Wore
The
Tennis
Computer
Shoes.
Wore Tennis Shoes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's The Strongest Man in the World. Love it. I love it when the guy goes to do the deadlift and he stretches his arms.
Oh, Slasher Fred, you're talking about in Escape from LA. That was a virus. In this one, they have 2 capsules that have already begun dissolving in his bloodstream, and they will last for another 22 hours. And there are small explosives in him that when it dissolves, they will go off. I don't know what's going to detonate them, but that's what's happening. And in Escape from LA, it ends up being a hoax. They gave him a fucking cold. Sniffles.
I have still not to this day seen Escape from LA. I was like, no, this movie didn't
Oh.
need a sequel. I'm not watching
I
it.
did once. Just once.
No.
I've seen guys more or less die from the sniffle spray, so depends on the guy.
Something you've been fooling around with. 2 microscopic capsules lodged in your arteries. They're already starting to dissolve. In 22 hours, the cores will completely dissolve.
Yeah, Anima, like basic viruses and it can kill you. A lot of people don't know
No,
that.
I mean, men being
have-
dramatic about the sniffles. That's what I was saying.
You're being talking about the overly dramatic. Yeah,
Yeah,
what
the
I
man
do,
flu.
I'm not overly dramatic. I just tell everybody to fuck off and leave me alone, and I go lie down
Me
and I
too.
sleep my way through it because I don't want to feel like crap, so I sleep and I just keep taking cold and flu medicine, and until one morning I wake up and I'm like, I'm still sick, but I'm over it. I can tell I'm already on the other side of the hill. But back to this slideshow. Any good comments, Martin?
Oh yes, we have the thing about the twist. Donald Pleasance usually plays a shady character, according to
Well, he
Tree
got his start in Hammer Films. Him and his daughter, oddly.
Mm.
His daughter, too. His daughter's appeared in a few weird films. And she's pretty but weird looking. She's pretty but weird looking. She looks like Donald Pleasance as a girl. So
That
Damn,
sounds
it's
wrong.
weird. That is weird.
It
That
may
just
sound
sounds
weird,
wrong.
but you know what? Sometimes, man, they're strangely attractive, such as the lead singer
Sorvino.
for friggin' Aerosmith, Steven Tyler. He is the ugliest human being on the planet, but his daughter, who looks exactly
Liv
like him,
is
is
gorgeous.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Look,
And she
dude,
looks exactly like him.
dude, have you seen Paul Sorvino and his daughter Mira?
No.
Oh, Mira Sorvino is one of the beautiful women in the world.
Cool.
he is gorgeous. All right, here you
And
go.
you can see, right, when you see them side by side, say, yep, that's her father. Oh, and we have this coming too. Man, I love that movie. I think it's a Luc Besson movie.
It is absolutely a ripoff, and they got sued for it. Absolutely is a remake of Escape from New York. You can go ahead and drop it so I can show what's going on in the background here. Thank you. This is Angela Pleasance.
Holy shit, yes.
This is
She
her
has-
as the ghost of Christmas Past in the single greatest version of A Christmas Carol ever made. But she also got her start in Hammer Films. I'm going to look to see if there's any pictures of some of the old stuff. Nope. No.
She's in Gangs of New York, huh? Wow.
Oh, she's in a lot of movies, to be honest with you. She's a very good actor, just like her dad. Now, if I were to remake Halloween and have a Dr. Loomis, I would have her play Dr. Loomis.
I probably get a lot of the same mannerisms out of her too.
Dr. Loomis.
She is
who is
such a quirky actor.
who is the
Excuse me?
strange brother of Father Loomis.
What?
You remember,
Yeah.
Dr. Loomis is the strange brother of Father Loomis in
Oh,
The
Father
Prince
Loomis.
of
Yeah, I
Darkness.
know. There's that fan connection.
Oh, she
you
knows.
used.
Sorry.
So they get you used to always watching the time in this film. That's another thing they do a good job of setting you up. Here's some of the visual effects that were done, and the matte paintings done in this were done by James Cameron. Also, he was involved with the making of the computer graphics of the city because they're not computer graphics. There's no computer graphics like that. That is actually a model that he painted the corners and tops, edges of everything white. And then they filmed it and then color coded it. And it looks like fucking computer generated city.
It's
really
badass.
fucking brilliant.
Yeah. Special effects in this movie are great, man. Love it.
The miniatures
All-
too.
when he's-
They built fucking Manhattan in 10 days out of cardboard and photos, and then they painted it.
They had to color the photos with color pencils. So it didn't warp. Because if you paint paper, it'll warp the paper. So they had to use color pencils to color in the bricks and any color that was in the building.
It's just amazing.
Yeah, and by the
They
way,
didn't have a
Escape
lot of
from
money,
LA
so.
is the best version of John Carpenter's theme because it's rock. You know, they brought heavy drums in because in this movie the drums are actually digital on a drum program.
Because everything's better as rock. No doubt.
Now, this is really cool what they did there. That was a matte painting with the glider of the building. The building is the matte painting. Later on, there's a great shot where you're looking down to the base, and it's just this just a horrifying angle of the tower and the glider hanging over the edge. And that shot was actually a model of the rooftop sat on top of a photograph of the actual tower. That's why it looks so fucking real. Now, of course, you can't touch the fucking wires like he does there, but okay. It's not like a car. You can't fucking do that. Because you would complete the circuit and get electrocuted.
And he would be going, his hair
Yeah.
would get frizzed. Yeah. He'd get
He'd be
jolted.
like the
He
kid
wouldn't
from
get killed.
Ghostbuster. He'd be
You
like
know,
the kid on Ghostbusters spitting his gum out.
Well,
What?
you never know. He may like it.
By the way, another great
Don't
line
be
in
weird,
the film
Martine.
is when he's talking to Hal while he's still on the glider, and he says, "You know, you're going to be on your own." He says, "You mean I can't count on you?" He goes, "No," and he goes, "Good."
Good. That's right. But he's already being watched from the beginning of this. You see a body go flying by right there in that scene when he
Yeah,
gets
it's the
inside
first
building.
jump scare in the film.
Yeah, I love that running joke. Everybody he meets says like, Snake Plissken, I know who you are. I heard you were dead. Everyone.
Yeah, Ernest Borgnine's isn't he the first one that says it? Because it's not Hauk. I think Borgnine's the first one that says, "Hey,
Yes.
Snake, I heard you were dead.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't want to go down there."
That is so
Face.
funny, him fanboying out because he's got Snake Plissken in his cab. It's hilarious.
Oh, he's
man.
Cabby is my favorite character in this.
Ernest Borgnine made this movie in so many ways.
Inside the cores are a heat-sensing charge. Not a large explosive, about the size of a pinhead. Just big enough to open up both your arteries.
I still have one more clip from that scene that I still play. And by the way, St. Louis is where this was filmed, near the waterfront, and there was a fire a few years. I think it's 78 or 79. There was a nasty fire that worked its way through the waterfront and gutted a lot of those buildings. A lot of them had to be torn down. Some of them were able to be fixed, but at this point, no money had been spent. This is the poor side of town. You know, look, East St. Louis is bad side of town. And so they got permission to shoot there for this movie, but they did not get permission for what's coming up next, which is when he walks up on the downed Air Force One. They actually went to an airplane salvage yard, bought a plane, cut it apart for this scene, and brought it in without permission for this scene. They did not have the permits or permission to do this. This is another great moment of guerrilla filmmaking in a studio film.
I mean, it's impressive that they snuck in a plane, but they had to bring in all the garbage and stuff every evening. They were filming at night, and then in the morning they had to clean it all away because that's a working area. People were living there.
Yeah, some of those buildings
Yeah.
you see in the background are offices. Now, there's another great moment in the street scene where he had to go around a corner with another guy, and they were like kind of far away from everybody else, and then they ran into some youths that would normally have been very dangerous to have run into, but he said they seemed a little preoccupied with how many guns he had on him.
That was great.
And he immediately told the other actor, he says, let's go back. And they walked away. They turned and walked away. But the kids didn't mess with him because he's walking around with a fucking Mac 10 with an extension suppressor on it. He's got a fucking Colt 44 Magnum with a scope. You know, the guy's fully armed.
He's got some gear on. Yeah, no doubt.
But again, this plane, they had no permission for this, and they pulled this off in one night. I will now play that other clip. We've gone far enough.
We'll burn out the charges if you have the president.
What if I'm a little late?
No more Hartford Summit, and no more Snake Plissken.
When I get back, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, when I get back, I'm going to kill you.
And you know,
And it makes
Snake
the
doesn't
ending of this-
just make, he
that
never
line
makes
the
idle
ending of this
threats.
movie sweet. Yeah.
Oh no,
He never
doesn't.
makes he never makes idle threats. That's the thing you got to take with him. Snake means exactly what he says. He's one of those people. He is an anti-hero. And it's the kind
Which
of
he
character
proves in the
that
end.
Carpenter loves to write about, you know. But the fact is he actually, you learn he really does care about things. And he cares about people. He just doesn't show it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, County Shade Media, call me Snake.
Call me Snake.
The name is Plissken.
And it's really amazing. Dean Kundi lit this film, and his lighting is so fucking good in this movie. And it makes this movie look like a bigger budget film than it is. Dean Kundi, I just tell you, man, he was God's gift to cinema when he came about. Ernest Borgnine had a way of delivering lines with facial expression, very animated face. Yeah. I mean, he was always fun to watch, especially on The Wild Bunch. He played, what's his name? Sergeant Mazzio, was that his name in From Here to Eternity? Plus, of course, one of his best films, and he won the Oscar for it, was Marty. I think that was 51. There's where he had a way. Yeah, absolutely. So let's see who else popped in here real quick. I see Country Shit Media. Welcome. And who else jumped in?
No,
Tree Rock Creations.
else.
My buddy from Tree Rock is here. Janotsky, of course. Oh, you like Tree Rock Creations so much you listed him twice. That's awesome, Martin. There we go.
He's half asleep. Give him a break.
Which half?
I wouldn't say.
Dude.
This is such a creepy moment in the film. He walks by this guy that's taking shoes off some dude that's either passed out or dead in the fucking lobby of this theater.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be, of course, Broadway. And they found locations that kind of look like, but aren't the locations. And you kind of tell if you've been there. But I thought they did a really terrific job with the locations down in St. Louis. They also shot a little bit in Illinois. The bridge scene is the bridge, a bridge over one of the narrow points of the Mississippi between Illinois and Missouri. In fact, it's on Route 66, that bridge. In fact, you know what? I have photos of it. I forgot about that.
I have the 2 YouTube videos open about the shooting locations if you need the links.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's supposed to be the 69th Street Bridge, the final fight scene, which looks nothing like. There's Borgnine. Look at him, and he spots Snake,
Maniac.
and he knows who he is immediately. He's
Yep.
He's starstruck. He's one of those guys. I would love a world where combat veterans are treated like celebrities.
I always wanted to know how he lost his eye. That's what I always wanted to know.
It was
Yeah.
a cat.
The patch
a
actually was a
cat.
Kurt Russell idea, by the way.
And they don't tell
Yeah.
because even in the
Fucking
deleted
cat.
scene with the bank robbery in the beginning, he already has it. So that's not where it happens. That must be an old wound.
You don't want to go down there, Snake.
He lost as a child in a marbles accident when he's playing marbles.
You don't want to go down there, Snake.
I love that fucking moment, man. What a great scene. And again, this was an early film after Rocky of using Steadicam. And they were able to get shots that you couldn't get if you were working on a dolly or a jib.
I saw Planet Terror once. A long time ago. I didn't notice that.
I actually watched two films in one, and then I watched the separate movies when they added additional footage to them to make them longer.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They've got a version that's uncut of each one? Deathproof and that one? Really?
Yeah, they released
have
them individually.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I only saw them as the Grindhouse.
Grindhouse, yeah.
feature.
I've watched Grindhouse, and that's it. Yeah.
Now, while we're watching this and we're talking about a movie because he's in a theater there on Broadway, I'm going to point out this is the movie theater that I originally saw it in. Right there. It's the Colonial Theater in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It is now a Galleria or Galleria, however you want to say that, for artwork. But it was originally, for years, the Black Theater in Fredericksburg. You had the Victoria Theater where whites could go and the Colonial Theater for blacks. But after desegregation, everybody went. I'd go with my black friends to the Victoria or with my white friends to the Colonial. And I went with my dad to see this movie in this theater. The other film I saw in this was An American Werewolf in London. And that Don Knotts Tim
Was
Conway,
that the one you snuck in with one ticket?
The Victoria was. No, that was the Victoria Theater was the other theater across the street and down the block. And we snuck in because I didn't know money and we wanted to go see, they re-released The Boatniks by Disney and we wanted to see it, my friends and I. So one friend paid it for a ticket and then opened the back door for us and we came in the theater from the alley.
Back door.
Only time,
Yes.
back door reference to
Very
my own show.
backward.
And this is back when it was new. This is an old photo that's been artistically touched up. So you can see some of it's been painted and stuff for color. It was a black and white photo. The downtown Fredericksburg.
I was going to say the one you showed first was from the 70s. You can tell by what's on the marquee and the cars. Yeah.
Yes, this is from the 70s. In fact, two buildings immediately to the left after the shoe store were torn down, and you can see that there's a little like wall there. That eventually got torn down, and any of you who have seen the photo of me playing drums with a band, that was right there on that spot, right below that fence line. And it was basically the downtown celebration area where bands would play live. And it was a lot of fun. That was a good area. I don't think they do it anymore, though. But again, I want to point out the Steadicam allowed them to do some of the angles, like where the camera is walking backwards. Camera is walking backwards, following Snake, and the barrel of his weapon is right in the lens of the camera. Just beautiful fucking shots. Also, look at the depth of field in some of these shots. That's Dean Cundey again, blurring the lights and shit in the background. I love that.
It's a bit
filmmaking.
It's a pity that Snake cannot appreciate that.
Yeah, Snake doesn't care.
No, because he has only one eye. He can appreciate depth of field.
So he thinks he found the president, but it's not the president. And I forget that actor. the old guy that has the president's wristband on is an old actor, and I cannot fucking remember his name. He was in westerns and shit from the old days. I'm looking to see if I can find it here. No, let me go to Top Cast, see if I can spot him that way. Full Cast, I mean.
Do you have a slide with him on it?
Should be. I mean, the scene.
Oh,
is
Carmen Filippi plays one of the bums in it, and he's a well-known character actor. John Deal is one of the punks in this movie. Anybody who's ever watched Miami Vice knows who that is. I also love the lighting in these alleyways that Dean Cundey set up, man. There's so much depth to his shots. Look at that, the rich depth of that scene. It's not the debris that makes this scene. It's how he shoots it. By the way, this exact street is shot from so many different angles in the film.
To make it look like
Because
different
they
streets.
had a limited area. Yeah, they had a limited area. And then he finds the president's bright red Easter egg. And a lot of people don't notice that you can see a little bit of red there. See it there up over that wall?
Mm-hmm.
You guys see that? Okay, I don't know if the next slide will show it from the other angle where you see more of it. There it is. That is actually the parachute.
Okay.
And they don't explain it because they were going to shoot the escape pod coming down, but then they didn't have the budget for it, so they didn't go. Yeah,
it's amazing what they could do
Metal
with the
Gear
limited
Solid.
budget they had.
Metal Gear Solid Snake is based on Snake Plissken, and Kurt Russell knows that, and he thinks it's cool.
Now, this is pretty cool. This is when you start to see some of the world building of what's going on this island. When the crazies start running out.
Or as we call them that grew up in the 80s, Chud.
Yeah.
Because they are.
You didn't explain that to me yesterday. White Chud.
Cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers.
Oh.
Chud. And it's something he threw in there before the movie Chud, because they made a movie Chud.
Yeah.
And it came out later. But this film is the first one to show Chud. And we know that they're cannibalistic because they take the girl.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of blow.
His wife.
She's
wife
lost
at the time.
Yeah.
He's like, good riddance. I need to meet Goldie Hawn.
Consider that the divorce.
Consider that the divorce.
God, guys.
They must not have been married very long. Those two.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier, Monkey, that the two major films that Kurt Russell did with John Carpenter, he was impersonating another actor. In this one, it's Clint Eastwood, and in Big Trouble in Little China, he was doing John Wayne. Chock full of nuts. That was Starbucks before there was Starbucks. Anybody from the 70s fucking knows that. There is a shot of a chock full of nuts in the end scene of a film that you and I watched not too long ago, honey, called 3 Days of the Condor.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one. Didn't we talk about that in a show too?
That's funny, Slasher Fred. Yeah. Clint Eastwood was in Escape from Alcatraz.
That girl's gorgeous. I'm sorry. I thought she was beautiful.
I think Tree Rock, if I'll double check, but I think they actually shot at the Biograph, which is just outside Chicago, I think. I'm going to go double check.
This thing, she's explaining to him what's going on with the crazies outside.
And he thinks she lives there, and she's like, yeah, nah, I just got stuck on the street. I don't live in a ditch like that.
Mm-hmm. And she starts using her feminine wiles trying to get a ride out of town.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's in Chicago. And it's still there. The Biograph is still there. The lights still work. It's beautiful theater. If you ever have a chance to go to Chicago, you have to stop by the Biograph. And of course, the Biograph is where Dillinger got shot, was murdered, killed. When you think about the Morlocks, yeah. That's Susan Hubley. She was Kurt Russell's wife, main squeeze at the time.
Squeeze.
And they were still together when he made Swing Shift, and he met Goldie Hawn. But they still ended the relationship friendly. And they're still friendly to each other to this day. I think she's still
That's
alive.
the grown-up thing
She
to
may have
do.
passed away. I think she did. Did I remember?
Well, she hasn't worked from 1999.
No, she's still alive. She's 73 years old. I remember that there was an interview or something with her, and I was like mistaking it for like her, like something happened to her. But no, there was an interview about 2 years ago with her, and she looks just awful. She has physical problems. Poor girl.
In her youth, she was gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, God,
Kurt Russell.
I forgot you. Wow.
Kurt
yeah.
Russell will only try to mate with something else that's beautiful.
Right? I was fixing to say, dude, one of my favorite movies, a little known movie called Vice Squad. She's in that one. And
Vice Squad.
wow.
I remember that movie.
Ramrod the Killer Pimp is one
It
of
was
the greatest
terrible
villains
movie,
of all
but
time.
it's so bad it's fun.
Yes.
It's one of those films.
Remember when they made that documentary that Donald Pleasance and I can't remember who Karen Allen, I think, was the girl that narrated, called Terror in the Isles. They had all this stuff from horror movies, but they showed, when they were showing the villains, they showed Ramrod the Killer Pimp in almost every bit of that. It was great, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to point out something else that occurs. I've told people my problem with Escape from LA is nothing more than a beat for beat remake of Escape from New York.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got some great stuff in it. I love the Surgeon General of Beverly Hills. Fucking great performance by Bruce Campbell. But it does the exact same thing at the same point in the film, where he's exhausted all of his ideas and he doesn't know what to do next. And he grabs a chair and sits down, and the story moves forward for him. He's just waiting for something to happen. And he did that in that scene right before the Hubley moment, because he's sitting there. And the Chud scene is the transition in the story,
Mm-hmm.
where it begins to really move forward. And it's all because of the sitting down. They do the exact same thing in the basic remake. And of course, there's Cabby, here to save the day.
Yes.
Oh, you don't want to
Pulls
be on
right
the
up.
streets at night, Snake. It's
What are
dangerous.
you doing? Right?
Trust me, I know the streets here.
And for some
He's-
reason, that cassette tape is the exact same brand that's used by the president.
Yeah. And he's so proud that he has been driving his cab there for like 40 years. Same fucking cab.
30.
This stuff is gold around here. I
30.
love this. The Molotov
Oh, yeah.
cocktail. This stuff is gold around here, you know? What a great line. And he's so casual and just laughing after he throws it.
Oh, he's
Man, I
having a
can't
ball.
wait till
He's
I can tell
driving for
Eddie
Snake
I had
Plissken,
Snake
damn it.
Plissken in my cab.
Right? He's driving a rock star around.
He's having the day of his life there.
Yep.
And then Snake, of course, he goes, yeah, why don't you tell me? And puts the gun up to his head. He goes,
Yeah.
you don't have a gun to my head. I'll tell you. Everybody knows you don't meet with the Duke.
Hey, number
Everybody
one.
knows where he's at. The Duke's got him. The Duke's got him. God, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah.
This very same cab for 30 years. He got the gun in the back of his neck there. The Duke got him. The Duke got him. The Duke.
The Duke in New York. Hey, number one.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
We have Country Shape. We're doing a dedication to her on Wednesday, watching, of course, a film with the late Robin Williams as well. So it's a dedication of both of them. Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall, Popeye.
I
She was
can't
born
wait
to
to
play
watch
Olive
that.
Oil, man.
You showed me scenes. I can't wait to watch the movie. I
Oh,
love
she was
Robin Williams and everything he does. So
Anima, she was born to play Olive Oil. I'm telling you. I mean, you couldn't have cast that any better. No.
By the way, Country Shape, it's clear that the Morlocks evolved from Judd in the Time Machine. And you see where Snake confronts Brain. I love his line. You see, I know what you and Duke don't know. The Duke don't know. That's right. No, you're lying. And he still calls bullshit on it later, but part of his brain says, believe him. Believe him. And of course, this is supposed to be the famous library in New York City, but it's missing something, and it's missing these.
the lions, yes.
Well, the
But that's
Ghostbusters
okay.
destroyed that.
I'm okay with the lions being missing. They still did a great job of mimicking New York, given they had a limited budget. I mean, look what they
this
do
is a small
nowadays
budget
with
film.
look what they do nowadays with the absurd,
Dude.
huge budgets, and they give us crap. And back then they had to be creative because money was limited, and they
Dude.
put out movies like this.
I see this scene, and all that I see is Kelly's Heroes.
Right.
The backdoor reference.
By the way, the budget for this film was $6 million.
There she is.
Oh,
Brain
yeah.
squeeze.
Nothing.
There she is.
How much would that be in today's money, Gerry?
I don't know, but I'll find out. But I wanted to point out that with a $6 million budget, they made $25.2 million on the film. So it was moderately successful.
Were they married whenever he put her in this movie? Adrian Barbeau?
They were seeing one another. I don't know if they were married or not.
Brain squeeze. Love it. Yes.
Because it's brought up on another channel that for the scene where they show her dead body at the end, that was at her house. And I'm like, wasn't it her house? Was that hers and John Carpenter's house? It was shot in the garage.
Mm-hmm.
The driveway,
In their
because
personal garage of their driveway.
they didn't shoot her dead body, and then they had the movie together and showed it to people, and they were a little lost, and that's when they realized we never showed her dead body. We need to do that scene, so they did it in her driveway. I mean,
Okay,
imagine
I didn't-
shooting in your own driveway, a scene where you're being brutally murdered.
I don't know if I ever told you this, Gerry, but that was the first color portrait I drew. Was Adrian Barbeau holding that pistol?
Oh,
Yeah.
very
The
cool.
profile of it. The profile of it. Yeah.
I've got some clips here, so I'm gonna get into those real quick.
Do it.
I know him. Look at his face. He's lying. Right, Harold. I'm lying. So I might as well have some fun and keep looking by myself. Rain, talk to him, baby.
Talk to him, baby.
That's
is
it.
So awesome.
Yeah,
Oh.
and by the way, One of the cool things about this actor right here is he agreed to be in the film, but he exclusively held the right that if he's going to be in the film, he was allowed to rewrite his dialogue as he saw fit. And John said, "You can do whatever you want as you don't change the story or the plot."
And you
always were smart, Harold.
Just one thing right now. Don't call me Harold.
Oh man, too good. Just totally punking him in front of his lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't call me Harold.
I love that scene. Hi, Snotty.
I'm sorry. I don't know why, but I just can't take my eyes off of Adrienne Barbeau when she's on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oof.
I wonder what would that be.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I mean, her hair is terrible, but she's gorgeous.
By today's dollars, Anima, I just checked for you.
Thank you.
The budget for this film today would be equivalent to $22,876,818.
That's nothing.
Oh, I
That
know.
is- Wow. I think they should limit budgets to force them to be creative. Back to miniatures.
Didn't
Yep.
we first
CGI
get
everything.
introduced to her on television? She was Maud's daughter, right? Wasn't she Maud's daughter? That spinoff of All in the
Yep.
Family? Yeah.
Yep. That's where she got her big break.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how much they earned for this film. Basically $100 million. That's how much film by today's dollars. What they made, 26 million today, would be $99 million. Yeah, what was she known? She was known for was her asset. She was a Playboy bunny and a dancer before getting her break in Hollywood. She was dancing in clubs while going to college. Yeah, she's one of those actual stories of a girl going to college and making her way through college by stripping. Absolutely, they do. They really do.
Oh, yeah.
That is why it's one of my favorite films of all time. I can't remember anything else about that movie.
Right.
Nothing.
Can't remember anything else about that flick.
I'm kidding.
How many hall
I love
passes
the
do you
film
have,
because
Gerry?
Craven tried his best to make the Swamp Thing look like Bernie Wright's in Swamp Thing. And it just looked awful. It was the costume was just clunky and bendy. You'd see bubbles. He'd move and you'd see the suit. It was weird.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is
kinda
where
looked
you
like-
see Cabby show cowardice. And he leaves them.
Well, that's because the Duke's a number one. You can't cross him.
Yeah. Now the Duke's in the front seat, by the way, that's Ramiro in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So I've kind of taken that as to mean that Ramiro is his first lady.
Oh.
Not just his right-hand person. I took it that way. Even though there are women in his group. That's really
You
weird.
know how that sounds, Gary? He's his right hand and his first lady.
Yeah. Well, you'll look at the way
Tracy?
he is sitting in the scene later on. Watch the way Ramiro is sitting when he's got Duke's hat in his lap and he's thumb petting the feather in his hat, and his feet are up against the Duke. I'm
He
just
treats that
telling you.
hat like a cat. It's weird.
It's a bizarre moment.
Well,
it's also I've got a
it is
clip of
prison
it because
story, so it's not far.
because that is where Ramiro delivers that amazing cackle laugh that he does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
That fucking high pitch
Dude,
cackle.
when I saw that, to me, Romero is like a salacious crumb to Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, I got to point out again the music in this scene Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
The
dun,
music
dun,
is so
dun.
good in this movie.
Fucking driving theme.
The percussion in this is awesome. It really is.
It's all digital.
Yeah.
There's no real drums in this soundtrack. The only real drums you hear in this movie is in songs they use.
I like the hand
Like,
clap sound
Like
that's in it.
Bandstand Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
That Cabby loves listening to, that big band music.
Yep. Yeah, this car gets smoked as he's driving it through there.
Odd thing is he's got those weapons, but he doesn't want to run out of bullets.
No.
And so that's why he doesn't use his weapon here. Because he easily could scare some of them off. But
he's using the car. Yeah.
Car's a weapon.
You know it, man. It's one of the most dangerous weapons there is.
Oh, they should be banned then.
Right? Oh, yeah. We got to save the public. Outlaw cars.
there was a time, though, when there was a movement of getting rid of car, like the Corvair was dangerous, gas tank under the seat. Ralph Nader was known for that. Ralph Nader and his Nader Raiders.
Yep, Nader's Raiders.
And they would go out and go after stuff that wasn't safe. That was back when he cared about actual stuff. Now it's about control and power and get rid of, you got to unarm Americans, you know, got to disarm them so they're easier and more compliant.
How about no?
You know, they've said for years why Red Dawn, as cool a movie as it is, that would never happen, is because every country that's ever considered invading us remembered that we're an armed society. They go, no, we don't want to. That's why Switzerland never got invaded, because every citizen is armed.
Yeah.
I know people in Switzerland, and that's not true. Not everybody has a gun there.
Well, I'm telling you, that's in the history fucking books, not written by us.
Yeah.
Now you can say that. I learned that in fucking college.
Yeah, they're probably for Europe an unusual amount of people with guns, but not everybody. That's not true.
What country is it where they give 18-year-old males M16s and train them how to use them to be part of the militia? Which country is that?
Same country. I just talked about.
Is it Switzerland? Yeah.
Switzerland is one of the most heavily armed countries in the world. It is also one of the safest, and shootings such as the recent one in Sion in the south of the country are rare because of the fact of how armed the state is. It is also why Hitler did not invade them. He wanted to, but he was terrified of them. So I just read another one. This is from a Swiss government website. Oh, I'm just telling you, honey. I know you said that, but I'm telling you, that law is still in stand, that every citizen is expected to have their household armed to defend.
He hit him in the head with there when he threw it. What was that? One of the shurikens? Or
that was one of those weird shurikens. He also got shot in the leg, which is great. This is the second jump scare of the movie. This is the second jump scare in the film. John Carpenter is the master of the jump scare. He said he has talked critically about filmmakers today, horror filmmakers, that they don't understand the jump scare and how it works. That you can't have a character like, there's a scene where the cop walks up behind Loomis in the first Halloween film, puts his hand on his shoulder, and it's a jump moment. You actually jump a little bit because he kind of comes out of nowhere and does it, but there's no musical cue. He says the reason why is because the cop is not the bad guy. When you put a musical cue in for the jump scare, you're telling the audience that person that just caused you to jump is the bad guy. And you're lying to them. And you should never lie to the audience.
That's why he uses that synthesizer note here.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
He does it. He did it earlier with the guy running in the background at the tower. And he does it here when the guy jumps out on top of him.
Let me point out real quick before we get too far away from it. Donald Pleasance as president in this moment is showing no nobility. He's like, goddamn right, I'll move fast.
Yeah.
He's English, but he's brilliant as the president.
Yep.
He's meant to be a buffoon. And what Carpenter wanted to do is he said, Donald Pleasance is the love child of Ronald Reagan and the Iron Lady. What's her name? The British
Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher.
Margaret Thatcher, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he meant him to be a goofy character, not very smart, and he was meant to actually be a parody of a president. You guys ever see Carpenter's first movie, Dark Star? I've seen it. I own it.
I have too.
Yeah, that movie was the inspiration for Alien, and of course, Harry Dean Stanton played Brett in Alien. That's right.
Beach Ball Alien is unforgettable.
Yes. Now, I love how Brain and Maggie just play it off. Oh, he made us, man. He had a gun on us. He threatened to kill us. I fucking love that. But, Duke doesn't trust him. Romero doesn't like him.
Duke doesn't trust anyone.
Duke doesn't trust anybody.
When he comes off the train.
More importantly, Romero knows better. There's Romero again, one of his great moments on screen. And as he walks past him, he slowly, without turning his head, points at them to stay there, and then they stop. I love that.
The way he exits the wagon is brilliant. He's awesome. Dancing. Yeah, he's dancing out of the train, and then he does this arm movement to tell them to stay behind. It's so gay. That's so funny.
He goes,
yeah,
like he's
when he leans forward like an Indian looking, in the distance. I love this Asian dude here. I don't know if he's Japanese or Chinese. He looks Japanese, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you see him before he goes unconscious, and then you see him right after he wakes up because he's in the same spot. He's in the same spot. I thought that was funny. They're in different locations, but he's in the exact same spot watching him up close. And I love this scene because this is the third time in the film you get the gag.
Yep. Whack.
And I've got it. I've got the clip. I love this clip. I had to edit it to get it to fit, and hopefully we won't get claimed for it. But here we go. Oh wait, I got to play this one
Still
first.
can't figure out whether that son of a bitch Pliskin was telling the truth or not. God, I hate that guy.
He got in somehow.
Yeah, but how?
That was all Harry Dean Stanton. He wrote that dialogue.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So here's the clip. All right. Hey, is that out of order? No, it's in the right order. Okay.
Snake Plissken. I've heard of you. I heard you were dead.
I've heard
that
of you.
Twitch in his eye is my favorite thing.
I love how he says his name.
It runs the whole movie.
Plissken.
Yeah.
Snake Plissken. I heard of you.
Heard of you.
And he looks at him, and then his eye twitches, and he fucking lifts that thing up and knocks the shit out of him with the crowbar. And he says, "I heard you was dead."
Kurt Russell got the shit knocked out of him during this movie. The fight scene coming up.
The wrestler kicked his fucking ass.
He did all his own stunts.
Wow.
He does have a stuntman for a couple of scenes, but for the most part, he did all of his what they refer to that as action acting.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford coined that, action acting. And it's what he does. There's that crowbar. Knocks the shit out of him. I fucking love this movie so much, man.
It is awesome, dude.
I'm glad we're finally doing it.
Yeah.
And this is where he becomes separated from his signal wristband and his fucking timer.
Yes, the timer. That's the first thing he notices when he wakes up.
Yeah, the wrestler gets the timer, and The Japanese guy is the bellman at the side of the ring, and he has the signal band.
I think
So
that's the
they're
reason why
thinking-
he's able to beat the wrestler in the end, that he has his watch and he needs the fucking timer.
And it is a great scene. How they pulled that stunt off, where he stuck that bat with a nail in it into his back of his head, is pretty incredible. They had something he had to stick it into, and it was on his back out of view of the camera, and that's what he did. Still, I wouldn't fucking let somebody do that. This is the one actual shot in the film of Manhattan.
And the Twin Towers are still there. 1981.
Well, the movie takes place in 97, so technically they were still there.
Yes,
Yeah.
technically they still would have been there. Yes.
I was there 2 years before they went down.
Now, I want to point out that when he hired Lee Van Cleef, there were problems, and his wife was very concerned of him being in this film because it's an action film. And he promised him that he wouldn't have to do any action because he had an injury from a film that he had worked on. You'll find stories like this throughout Hollywood of these actors that got injured doing Westerns. And Lee Van Cleef was injured and had trouble walking and standing. So that's why you see him a lot of the time leaning. He's always leaning or sitting. He had to do one scene they were very nervous about where he's got to walk through a hallway. And the wife was just terrified.
Well, that's
Now,
how you know you
Kurt
married the
wakes
right
up,
person.
and there's that guy in the exact same position he was when he went unconscious. What's this? If you guys ever see Carpenter's first, yeah,
No, we already.
That's an old one.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if I've read them. Bags. Yeah, I love the movie Body Bags. He's also in the movie. He's the crypt keeper. What's his? Yeah, that's just I don't want to even get into it. That fucking pissed me off. I posted on my Twitter page. I told you guys, James Gunn is not our guy.
Dude, you had to see Das Wolfen reaction to that. That was pure gold.
Yeah.
You're a booster gold?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Brewster gold?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the scene. Here's the scene. And Brain's trying to get information, and Duke ain't having none of it. And Romero is sitting there with his thumb petting the feather on the Duke's hat. It's a creepy moment when you really pay attention to what's going on there. There's a woman leaning on the back of the Duke, but it's Romero that's laying next to him with his feet towards him. I believe that this was insinuating that Romero is not just, see where his feet are? Up underneath the hand thing, up against him.
Dudes don't do that. Girls do.
He is a girl. Come on. Just watch him.
I'm
move.
just reinforcing Gary's point. He's right about that.
Queen, that's my rock and roll joke of the day. He's a killer queen. Yeah, I love that fucking song. So now I will play a clip.
What did I teach you?
You are Duke of New York. You're a number one.
What did I teach you? Yeah. He's always throwing his nuts around, man. I swear. The Duke.
Oh, and before this is when Brain and Maggie leave is this moment. Where's it at?
Get moving, Brain.
You're right, Martin. That's the salacious crumb moment right there, right?
It is.
Yep.
It is. It really
That is
is.
pure insanity, that cackle.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah. Yeah. The Great Escape. Another film with Donald Pleasance.
There you go.
Oh, man. I freaking love that movie. Even with the liberties that took.
All the computer graphics are all just animations or miniatures. I love that in this film.
It's beautifully done.
It was innovative. Yeah, this is a crazy scene. This is supposed to be Central Park. Man, I love this scene. God, this whole fucking movie is so fucking good.
Mhm.
And of course, this is supposed to be Madison Square Gardens, and it doesn't look anything like it.
No.
Hey, Tim is here.
Hey, Tim, you gonna play this video?
Hey.
Oh, I missed a
Oh.
comment. Pop Culture Minefield, Gerry. You know the Harrison Ford injury on Gunsmoke. Yeah, he, fell on his gun and knocked some of his teeth out.
Ouch.
Yikes.
That is not fun. Okay, and for our good friend Tim, where is it? Oh, here it is.
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
Oh, it's the dated version, not the updated
Yeah.
version.
We
Okay.
need the updated. Come on.
The Huey. Love the Huey.
Still
Well-
one of the greatest workhorses of the U.S. military to this day.
You know it, baby.
Still use them. Right here in Springfield, north of town, is the central maintenance group who do most of the maintenance for helicopters in the United States for the military. All branches.
It's the B-52 of helicopters. They keep trying to replace it, and they just can't.
Because the Black Hawk is an amazing helicopter. It really is. But
The what?
the Black Hawk.
Oh,
No, I don't say it like Keith.
Keith is the only one allowed to say it like he says it. Because, you know.
Because he does the thing where he goes in the back of his throat when he's saying Black Hawk. He says Black Hawk. So it sounds like Black Hawk when he says it.
Yeah, but he's allowed to.
It's not like he's not allowed to. Or
I mean, of all people, if he says it like that, it's okay.
I
let's not go
expect
there.
something like that from a German, but from an Austrian?
Oh, fuck you, Gerry.
Oh,
This guy was a giant, 7 feet tall, man. This guy's a fucking
Over
beast.
7 feet. Yeah, it's crazy.
And he was not pulling his punches with Kurt. And it was pissing him off. So he laid into him a couple of times.
For real?
Yeah. Kurt
Wow.
fought. Absolutely. It's like, fuck
He
you.
wanted to
I'm gonna
know,
hit you
huh?
back. Night of the Creeps to me is almost like a spoof of the. Yeah, it is. And I love it for that reason. It's one of my favorite 80s alien invasion films. Night of the Creeps, man. Yeah, and it has, of course, you know, I'm sure that's why you brought it up, is Tom Atkins is in it. He's the cop.
From the neck up on the hood of my car.
Yeah. I love the slow delivery of every single thing that keeps them cheering each time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the guy's a showman.
Yep. Let's do it. Too awesome, man.
I can't believe they blurred out the fighting scenes in one of the interview videos that we watched. That was so weird. Even for YouTube.
Hmm.
Wow.
How could you not like her hair?
Because it's terrible?
No, it's not.
Oh, and I forgot. I heard you say Snortus was here, and you said hi to Snort. But I didn't said it to you. I hope you're doing okay today, Snortapoopus. I hope you are okay.
And Monkey Jeebus is here too.
Yeah, I know. I've been interacting with Monkey. Yeah, all of a sudden now he's wearing Cabby's hat, which is weird. It's like he had his hair feathered and looking all like Princess Di and on cocaine. And then he throws the hat on, and I'm like, you don't throw a hat on that kind of hair. But oh well, it's for the scene.
It's foreshadowing.
So they're saying that the
Yeah.
president
Because
has
it was a
cyanide
trade mate.
capsules, and Romero doesn't resist. He lets him in. Big mistake, because she's armed with the Magnum, and he's got a knife.
Mm-hmm.
The minute Romero walks up to him, he just jumps at him. And I will point this out. This is an interesting decision that Brain has made, that he's going to rebel and do this on his own. And here's what I had to say about that.
Told that Average Joe's does not have enough players and will be forfeiting the championship match.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Which movie is that from?
Oh, Dodgeball.
For a fat old bear? Ah, come on, man.
Cyanide.
Yeah. You might try to take it tomorrow.
That's a bunch of bullshit. You're not supposed to be in here, Brain.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
That is awesome.
I know the reason, but man, Carpenter really botched up the sound of that awesome gun.
Oh, no, I've got a problem with the sound effects in this movie. The punches, the hits, the fucking guns, everything is tinny and high pitched.
Punches are ridiculous.
And it's
the gunshots
very
don't
annoying.
sound right.
And
The only
it
gun-
sounds like
the
an
gunfire-
old Western. It sounds like
Yeah.
an old Western.
Mhm.
And I don't like
Yeah.
that. It's too Hollywood for me. And it's always bothered me that he's never done anything to fix that.
The best gunfire in the movie is near the end when the machine gun's used in the penultimate moment.
Yeah.
That is the best.
Firing more rounds than were in the gun. So that's
Right.
a reload. You know,
It's
he empties a
amazing.
magazine with the first volley. That magazine's empty. And then
Yeah,
they
don't
show
count the
fire getting
rounds in this
spread
movie.
in
Don't do that. It's not.
there. He did a
like-
full-on mag dump and they didn't show it.
Oh, the best thing is we're gonna send you in there, Snake. There's a place, a whole island full of crazy people. Here, 3 magazines.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. By the
all you
way,
get.
I want to point something else out. The president is clearly a fucking asshole. You know this because there was
Oh, yeah.
no reason for him to turn off that lift pulling Snake up.
Oh,
He did not have to stop it.
he was using Snake as
Do
bait
what he
to
did.
pull out the Duke. Yeah.
The Duke was going to be there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It was completely unnecessary
Yep.
to do what he needed to do. So here's
he's
part
a
of that
dick.
fight. And I read somewhere that the marks you see on Kurt Russell weren't makeup. I don't know if that's true. I've never heard Kurt say it or John.
Then
But
it's
when you
probably
see him
just a
standing in
rumor.
the ring with the bruises or the what will be bruises later, was actually from doing the action scene. But there he goes, man. Hit him in the fucking head with that nail.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the brilliance of Carpenter. He can make things devastating without showing you a bunch of gore. He hits that guy with those spikes right in the stomach, and you know that hurt him. And then he plants it right in the back of his head, and it sticks to him. And you're like,
yeah, and then
okay.
You can't see it right there, but there is another angle. I don't know if we'll catch it here on the slideshow, but you can actually see the bat is stuck to him still.
Yep.
Yes, he's hanging on the rope and it's still stuck in his head.
And it's still stuck in his skull, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It is cool.
Not for him.
Now, I do want to do this one more time because I fucking love the scene so much. I'm going to do another, show this clip again.
Cyanide.
Yeah. You might try to take it tomorrow.
That's a bunch of bullshit. You're not supposed to be in here, Brain.
I want to point out the look of satisfaction on Maggie's face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's got a smile. She's smiling. She enjoyed killing those fuckers.
I tell you, if you want to see some of her best acting, go watch another Carpenter movie, The Fog. She's one of the main characters in the show, and she's really good in it. She really is.
And right before they broke up, she played in the movie Tales from the Crypt. What was it called?
Yeah, Tales from the Crypt, where she was a
Tales from the
bitch.
Crypt.
Yeah, she was a bitch in that movie.
She gets eaten by the monster.
Yep.
And the husband's, what did the husband yell at her?
I can't remember.
It's
been so long since I saw that one.
Tell it something about something she always talks about.
Right.
Yeah, I brought that up earlier, Tim. You should pop in early in the show and catch all the fucking trivia that I give.
Yeah, because that's where he puts the girth.
Be
of it
nice
right
to
at
our
the beginning.
audience, Gerry.
No, I'm going to be mean to Tim for fucking showing up late, bitch. No, I love you, Tim. No, what happened was this, Tim, is he's working on the film The Great Escape, which we're doing next week. And Sturgis, the director, is doing something, and it deals with his character being blind. And he said, well, actually, if somebody had vision problems, the guy, he would put thumbtacks down for people to step on so he could hear them when they're walking. And Sturgis just was like dismissed him on it. And James Garner immediately dug into the director, says, hey man, this guy was an actual POW during World War II at one of the camps, at one of the Stalags. So don't dismiss advice he gives him. Sturgis says, well, okay. But later that evening, after they were done, Charles Bronson showed up at his personal quarters. And whatever he fucking said to him that night made Sturgis turn Donald Pleasance not only, as the character, he made him the technical advisor for the movie.
They probably threatened
And
to
I
beat
love
the shit
that
out
story. Charles Bronson is a very soft-spoken man, but he can be very fucking menacing.
Yep.
And basically, I'm sure he said, you ever talk to another fucking veteran like that in front of me?
You know what he did. Yeah.
I guarantee you, because I would have said that. Don't you ever talk to a combat veteran and a former POW.
Charles Bronson's the kind of guy that walks quietly and carries a big stick. Yeah.
Fist. No, fist. Just a fist.
Yeah.
His fist was like twice the size of a normal human. I don't know if that's true. I just made that up. I was asleep. I worked late today. I don't have to explain yourself, Tim. I'm just fucking with you. No Tales from the Crypt. Adrienne Barbeau played the bullying wife in Creep Show. Thank you. That's the one I meant. The Stephen King one.
I just remember the iconic that they had. Remember that was one that they shot kind of in a comic book type of mode.
Well, the scenes would transition into comic book,
and the background's all red and blue.
Well, they would transition from real to comic book, but it was meant to, because you're actually being told this story from a comic book.
From a
the
comic
kid
book,
is reading
from the
it to
Creep
you.
Show comic book. Yeah. Yep.
Now, I want to point out how much work it would take to get that engine out of that car, whatever engine he had in there.
Yeah,
and
come on, man.
somehow, between being up at the roof and down, the Duke has had the engine removed from this car, and there's a guy inside.
Well, get into the roof of the WTC is not an
I'm
easy
sure it takes a while, but I am also sure that you have to get under the car too, and you have to have a lift, a pulley, to lift that engine.
Yeah, you have to have a lift. Yes.
So
no doubt.
I always was like, I remember watching it, and also you never see what happens to that guy. I don't ever, I never see what I've watched this movie at least 100, maybe 120 times, and I can never catch what happens to the guy with the crossbow. Because when they turn to run after they shoot the steam engine thing that's sitting there, the guy's not there anymore in the hood, under the hood.
Maybe it's another one that they forgot to actually death, but didn't bother to
Good answer. He's in New York, #1. He can do anything.
This is awesome shit. The set pieces and everything. This movie's perfect, dude. You may have mentioned the only hole in the movie. What happened to the dude with the crossbow?
Just,
like I
it
said,
drives
maybe
me
they
crazy.
forgot to. Maybe they forgot to.
I'm
and
sure
then they
somewhere it's
decided
on
he's
the editing. I'm sure they showed him get killed,
Yeah.
and it just got edited out. But
either that or they
And-
forgot and it wasn't important enough to do it.
well, they don't. I don't think they show it though. Is what I'm saying, Stephen. Is he's there? They cut to the other angle where they're now interacting with the Duke. They shoot the steam engine, and they cut back and are running, and the guy's not there anymore. Yeah, sadly, this is New York. And Escape from LA is LA today.
Right.
Yeah, this is where he finds out about the tape. What tape? Where is it?
Yeah.
And of course,
the crazy guy having Cabby's hat, that lets you basically lead you to this, let you know he's got the tape. Yeah.
now I'm going to point out something here that in order for the ending to make sense, Snake has to already be thinking of what he's going to do later after he's rescued the president. So there's forethought in what's going on here. Goddamn, Borgnine's got some serious, angry-looking eyebrows.
Yeah, he does.
Again, St.
Hey,
Louis.
Cam's in the house.
Hey, Cam. Yeah, this is actually a Script Doctor, and I've talked about this before, Cam, that this is a near perfect movie.
Mm-hmm. And he did it on a horror movie budget, and it's just
$6
amazing.
million.
Mm-hmm. This bridge scene is wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. His brain's got the map, right? Or no, actually, he's got the map now, but they're trying to navigate this damn thing, and they're doing it super fast now.
It leads to a comical but tragic moment.
Yes.
Where they can't tell
Because-
it from right? Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "No, I told you to swing right, swing right."
Yeah. Boom. Blows the cab in half, man. Wow.
The cab and cabby. Cabby
Yep.
too.
Yep.
What a sad
I
ending.
love the dude's
Yeah, it
car,
broke
though,
my
with the
heart when
chandeliers
Cabby
up
died.
top.
Me
Cabby
too.
was
I
the-
love
the-
Cabby.
Cabby was the heart of this movie. He's the character you
Yes.
care most about.
Yeah.
From the first moment when you
Boom.
see him in that theater and he's just listening to the show and watching and having fun, you love him right away, right?
Mm-hmm. Man, the Duke's what is that, a Cadillac he's driving with the chandeliers above the headlamps? That's so great, man. Good
Hey,
Lord.
Scribeless in the house.
Disco ball
Hey,
for a
Scribe.
mirror. Hey, Scribe.
I'm betting that
That'd be toast.
Scribe is also a fan of this film
Mhm.
because
yeah.
it is a really well written movie.
I'd be
I think it's
surprised if it wasn't.
69th Street Bridge. I'm not sure. Maybe it's 59th.
And yeah, when the brain gets it, Maggie, as I like to say, Maggie's not here right now. But if you'd like to leave a message, she'll be done. She'll be done with her tri-state killing spree soon.
This is a touching moment with her.
Yeah,
because
she cared about him.
Cared about this man. She was,
Mm-hmm.
he was everything to her.
Yep. He's
And
telling her,
Snake
"Come on,
realizes
we got to go," and she's like, "I'm not going anywhere." Right?
And Snake realizes it, and that's why he just gives her the gun. Here's the gun.
Most probably, he had been the only one that treated her well in that island.
Yeah. She's gonna
Look
take
at
it
that!
out on the
Oh
Duke,
man, that
right?
look.
Yeah,
That
that's awesome.
that heartbreak look.
Mm-hmm. And it changes from that to ecstasy when she starts blasting away at that car, man. She's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take him out."
She starts shooting too soon, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
She
he's
should
too
have
far
waited
away.
till he was
Yeah.
about 100 feet away and start
Mhm.
firing at him. You can hit within 100 feet with a handgun like that.
Yeah.
But she starts shooting. He's way the fuck back there. Now, I want to point out this bridge, the real bridge, I've got pictures of it here, is on the Illinois side of the river. This is the actual same angle from the show, from the film. This is on the Missouri side, the old Chain of Rocks Bridge. It is on old Route 66.
Is it a
And, of
national
course,
park now?
the city of Madison, Illinois. That's on the Illinois side.
So, the bridges of
And
Madison.
there you go. Now, it's not a straight bridge where you see it all the way over to the left. It actually banks to the right.
Yes.
But it's also got that cool stone tower. I just love that next to it.
Yep.
In the water. Yeah. So back to the movie. Cabby is the heart. Yep, Borgnine really had range as an actor. He could make you feel all the emotions he was portrayed. Absolutely. And he's the most naive, innocent character in the film. He's clearly got a good heart.
He has a good heart and a very small brain,
Yes.
but he's very lovable. I mean, he
The name
manages to survive
Cronenberg.
there, but
Damn it. I got to go back now.
There she is.
Shit. I was trying to say something while the dialogue was on screen.
Oh, look, she's wearing your glasses.
There you go.
There's, by the way, do you see the lens flare?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the lens that Dean Kundi uses, but it's not obtrusive.
It's only in flashes. It doesn't stay on the screen for a long time. Yeah.
Dean
And he
used it
smoked
too
her.
later in another horror film they did together, also in The Thing. Dean worked with him on quite a few films. So this is the moment here where he mentions the other character's name as Cronenberg, which was a nod to David Cronenberg. And John used to be friends with Cronenberg until Cronenberg got too full of himself as a director and acting like he's a fucking artist. And Carpenter even said it in an interview. I just kind of stopped hanging out with those guys. They got too big for their britches.
Which tells you how down to earth John Carpenter is.
Dude, Sax is in the house.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey, fuck you, Kyle.
You know what we had to do? We had to do a special edition of that one with J.J. Abrams lens flares.
Right?
That clip. Yeah. So the president gets up there They drop the thing for him. He goes up. And yeah, production design made by East St. Louis. Thank you for saying East St. Louis. Thank you. They tell people it's not St. Louis proper, it's East St. Louis where most of this film is shot.
Sachs is apparently a fan of the lens flare.
The poster was actually also a nod to Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, with the Statue of Liberty toppled over in half. You only see it from the head up. Yeah, exactly.
So here he is having the
thing.
fist fight with him. He's down to 2 minutes before he dies.
Yep.
And starts getting pulled up, and for some fucking reason that's unnecessary, because he could shoot the Duke without doing this, but he stops Snake from coming up. And I'm like, what a dick move. He didn't have to fucking do that.
I thought he was using him as bait to get Duke to aim at him.
The Duke was already there in that spot, right where he shoots him. He was already physically there. So it was unnecessary. So they, now he's gotten his 2 magazine full of rounds into the Duke. And Duke, New York, hey, number 1. Overacting by Donald Pleasance was great.
Mm-hmm.
This is my favorite moment in the film when he's about to discharge the bombs, and Hal cuts him off and says, tape. Knowing it's down to the fucking wire. Look at his face, man.
Yeah.
He's out of time, man. He's not having any bullshit anymore.
And so I'll play it for you real quick. I got this clip. I love this clip.
Promises he will.
Oh, it's not here.
What?
It's not here.
Where did it go?
It wasn't here. I don't know. Well, anyway, I made a clip of this, and it's not here. I had to put a lot of work in it because I had to remove all the music from it.
Yeah.
Didn't you
Do
give
you still
Martina
have
all
the
the
file?
clips,
You could share the file and present it. Yeah.
It's in the uploaded folder.
Which one? What are you
The
talking
one
about?
of him doing what he just did.
Yeah.
Where he gets the electrodes to the neck to discharge the bombs,
And he checks
and
the-
then he
checks the
slowly
timer.
looks with one eye at his timer, and it's down to 2 seconds. Then it goes beep, and it's like he really played it close to the wire.
I put all that I could find.
So yeah, he gave up the
I
tape.
put 20
That's
videos
it.
in there.
Mission
Hunting
accomplished.
for a clip.
He not only got the tape out, but he got the president out too.
Yeah, but the way the
Snake
president
is a
talks to him
bad
in the
man.
end. The president is such an asshole in this. He's like, yeah, I have to go live on TV in a moment here, so speed it up, man.
Yeah, it's
How about
in there,
being friendly?
Martin.
Okay, I'm
called
getting it
Escape
down.
Countdown.
I'm getting it down. Don't fret.
Do your job, Martin.
Right.
Oh my god!
Wow. Crack the whip, Anima.
Yeah, make that a little more nasal, and that's Owen Wilson.
No, I won't.
Wow.
There you go.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Joe is much better at that than I am.
In the meantime, I'll play this clip.
Cyanide.
Yeah, you might try to take it tomorrow.
That's a bunch of bullshit. You're not supposed to be in here, Brain.
See,
He's
Gary's watching that because he loves the dude's death scene. Me
I just love
personally, I dig it
that
because
actor
the
is so
brain
fucking cool,
squeeze
dude.
is prominently featured there. You know.
I mean,
All right, here it
he
is.
gets
I see it.
stabbed, right? That's how he dies. He gets stabbed, and she shoots all the other people, and then he slowly goes to the floor. It's just great.
You know what I'd like to do if he was still alive? Ask Christopher Lee, is that what a person sounds like when they get stabbed?
Yeah.
Right? Ah,
2 fucking seconds.
2 seconds. See why he didn't kill Lee Van Cleef right then? I don't know, but that's okay.
Because he was tired.
But it's always down to a few
so
seconds.
later on, but I meant right there, you know.
Every time there's a bomb, it's down to a few seconds when they finally get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
They had to
Now,
do that.
now, do you think if he'd have said something different, like he gave a shit, he might have given him the tape?
Well, the thing is, he may have given a shit, but I know he's rushed. And so that he's talking, not looking at Snake and looking in the mirror of himself, making sure that they covered up his bruises. And it comes off as dismissive.
Yeah.
And that pisses Snake off. It's not acceptable.
He saved his
And I'll
life, and
show-
all he cares for is his looks for TV.
I want to thank you. Anything you want, you just name it.
Just a moment of your time.
Well, they have to cover the fact that the plane was hijacked and he was dropped in that island. So you have to understand that part too.
Yeah, no, they don't want the public to know that he'd been kidnapped.
We did get you out. A lot of people died in the process. I just wondered how you felt about it.
Well, I want to thank them. This nation appreciates their sacrifice.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he's
All he
not
cares
down
for is
with
that he got
answer.
out alive.
He's not satisfied with that answer. No.
Look who's here.
Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Glenn.
Are you going to say something to Glenn? Like is your typical salute? Calling him limey?
Well, he is a limey. He knows that. He was born in Limey Land. That's the official name. A lot of people don't know that. It's not England or Great Britain. It's Limey Land. I was reading that.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
Not that one.
Donald Pleasance is one of the few actors who can make a silk purse out of a sow's ear when it comes to writing. Not talking about this movie, but just in general. No, I agree with you. You know, look, he got cut some of his time as an actor working with the Hammer people. He's a very good fucking actor. He's a lot better sometimes in the films he was in.
Yeah, that's the part where Lee Van Cleef says, "You still gonna kill me?" He's like, "I'm too tired right now. Too tired. I want to
He's not
offer
going to
this
waste
in the
energy
name
on that
of
guy."
peace." This is so great. The end of this movie is so awesome.
Let me go ahead and play this real quick.
Yes.
May learn to
Glenn
live
is far.
in peace.
Love it.
That's all I can
The
play
look
of
on
it,
his
just the opening notes.
But the look on the president's face. There you go.
Yeah.
Glenn is firing back.
Okay, we got that one. Then I need to go to this one. Here we go.
You gonna kill me now, Snake?
I'm too tired. Maybe later.
Maybe later.
Maybe later, yeah.
And as that music is playing, the big band music, it's called Bandstand Boogie. Is the name of that song.
Yeah,
I love that
they're
ending.
not retrieving that. Nope.
And
Nope, that tape is gone.
you're rooting for snake in this movie. And in the end, he just killed a lot of people.
Yeah, he did.
A lot of people are going to die because of what he just did.
Yep.
So I don't know.
He gets 0 Fs. Yes.
He's not a hero.
Yes.
He just did a job.
He's not.
We did get you out. A lot of people died in the process. I just wondered.
Yeah, I love that when he delivers that line. A lot of people died in the process. And this is what shows you that he cares. Because he tries not to show it, but by him saying what he said to him there shows he actually really cared about everybody that just fucking died.
Yep.
So, great ending to a film. It really is. The setup for this, of course, there were floppy disks at the time this movie was made, and it would have made more sense that it was on a computer disk and not a cassette. But in order to do what he does at the end, it had to have been recorded on tape. And otherwise the story doesn't work. So
no,
that's
because
where
I
the
don't
director...
think people were... I don't think at the time we were using floppy disks for music, were we? It was just basically software and programs, really.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't do that in the 90s, for sure. It was cassettes.
Mm-hmm. Everybody had that suitcase with all their cassettes in it.
I still have one.
In the Army, I had my Sony Walkman. Everybody in our fucking platoon had Sony Walkmans. And we'd be on transports moving along, and you could walk by and hear what everybody was listening to. And I swear to God, you would go by everybody. And I'm always in the back right corner of the vehicle because I'm the medic. I'm always, in the back of the marching line because I have to watch out for everybody. And you can't do that if you're up front. You have to do that from the back. And so I'd be up there and I'd have my Sony Walkman in. And just imagine it's walking by and you hear one guy's fucking thrash metal, another guy listening to death rock, another dude listening to punk, and you walk by and you hear me and I'm fucking listening to In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel.
Yeah.
And I got made fun of for it, in a very loving way, but I was poked fun at for it. And I said, you notice that I'm always calm? That's why, because I listen to music that puts me into a state of zen so I can focus and do my job when you guys fuck up and make sure you don't die.
Right. I bought 2 cassettes during basic training. I bought Bonnie Tyler's Total Eclipse of the Heart. Bought that one. And I bought Mental Health by Quiet Riot. Those are the 2 big.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I went to basic. Yeah.
I remember I actually bought a weird album while I was at AIT, and I went to the Mini PX and they had the bins, just a little bin with cassette tapes in them. And I found the new George Michael album. I fucking got it. I'm like, that's a damn good album. Cowboys and Angels, jazzy tune. I fucking love that album.
Mm-hmm.
Nice breach, Chivas.
Faith. Well, I set it up for somebody if they wanted to, and Monkey jumped at it.
There you go. So, there it is.
And here you are.
Check around and see if there's a back door.
Jesus Christ! I only saw that in pictures.
Tandy used cassettes.
Yeah, they did.
Tandy used cassettes.
Well, I mean, some of the earliest computers, the ones that NASA were using to friggin' calculate stuff for the moon, that was all on reel to reel.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how they recorded shit. My dad had a reel to reel. He loved it. He used to make hours of you make mixtapes. My dad would have hours of that shit on a reel to reel.
I am going to show you something very cool because I've actually been to this place many a time. And I'm glad Free Rock brought this up. So I'm going to show you something very cool that is here in Springfield. So many cool things about Springfield, Missouri. First gunfight of the Old West fought right here. Wild Bill Hickok shot a man 70 feet away with his pistol.
You showed me the
From
spot.
one corner of the town square to the other corner. But this is what Tree Rock was talking about. This is the National Audio Tape Company. They produce almost all tape cassettes in the United States, right here, Springfield, Missouri.
Wow.
Reel to reel is what we used when we recorded music. Although I remember Danny Martellino, the bassist for my band, he bought this little tiny 4-track recorder that used cassette tape. And it could put 4 tracks on the cassette tape.
Wow.
I'm like, that's crazy. They made that work. Because that's a small tape in the cassette.
Now, Gary.
Hey, Lee Anthony Davis, how are you?
Hey, Lee.
Just to ask a nerdy question about that. Why go reel to reel when you're recording music? Is it because you have speed control, or I mean, what's
you
the
have
deal?
that, and there are multiple tracks on reel to reel.
Okay.
Reel to reel is what's used for 8-track.
Yep.
You didn't know that.
Okay.
So hey, because you weren't here, I'm going to play this video for you.
Cyanide.
Yeah. You might try to take it tomorrow.
That's a bunch of bullshit. You're not supposed to be in here, Brain.
Keep playing it. The more Adrian
That fucking
Barbeau,
guy's
the better.
death scene is so fucking awesome.
How often have you watched that now? 5 times?
I don't know.
Make it
I'm never
six.
going to get tired of it.
Make
I don't
it
plan to
6.
delete that video.
No, you don't delete that one.
It
Every
is some
time
of the
somebody's
best-
being dramatic, you need to play that.
It's the best fucking overacting I've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
I should probably edit it to where it's just his death.
Yeah.
We appreciate that clip for different reasons.
Shot in St. Louis, East St. Louis. After some of the East St. Louis burned down in the late 70s, it gutted out part of the city, and the urban areas in particular. So they used that in the film to their advantage, which was really smart. Carpenter's music is iconic because you can recognize it by a couple of beats. Oh, cool, Lee.
Synthesizers are heavy.
But you're watching from my page because we weren't able to. Pop Culture, they made a change at X, and it just appeared. This is the first time we've seen it here on the show.
What?
Apparently, my payment didn't go through for my account for Pop Culture Minefield, so we were not able to broadcast on Pop Culture because now you have to have a pro account.
I was talking about it earlier.
Pro
Yeah.
account.
StreamYard only allows
verified.
StreamYard only allows you 3 locations. Because this is all
Well,
you,
on this
you can't
on this
edit.
version.
Yeah.
The point is,
On this version we have.
X changed their terms of service. You cannot live stream unless you're verified now. That's the deal.
Yep.
Unless you got a blue check mark, you can't go live anymore. I found that out last week. So the hard way.
It's his company. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, yeah.
Godspeed, man. I am.
Dude,
I
here's the thing.
believe in capitalism.
Yep.
Here's the thing. It may be harsh for the user to have to feel obligated to shell out the cash, but anything that makes you free of advertising is good for freedom of speech.
Absolutely. I've got no problem with it. It's like my favorite game is called DC Universe Online. It's a free-to-play game. But if you want certain things in it, you have to pay money for it. And if you believe in the product and you want to support it, pay the money. I've got no problem with him doing it. It's just, the fact that it dropped out of nowhere, and I didn't see any heads up about it or anything like that. So, but yeah, more power to him. I got no problem with it at all.
It's one of my problems, though, with subscription services for certain programs and softwares that we use online, that you're allowed to do certain things with it for free, which is fine. But if you want something, instead of just paying for that one time, you're probably only going to need it that one time. You have to pay for a monthly subscription. And I guarantee you these companies are losing millions of dollars doing that, because they'd be making a lot more money if they just allowed people to pay for the one service they're going to use it for.
Yeah, but pay as you go.
I hate that everything is being turned into a subscription. Buy it and own it.
Yeah,
what happened
they
to
do
that?
There you go.
They do it on
DC
purpose.
is pay to win.
Yes, it is. It is pay to win. But you don't have to be Ultimate Strength, okay? You don't. You can enjoy that game just playing it free to play. There's a reason why they do the subscription thing. They're hoping you're going to forget you have it.
Mm-hmm.
Are people really that stupid?
And then it's a pain in the ass to cancel the subscription. They put you to hoops and jumps and lakes of fire.
You want to know why you're quitting, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm just quitting. Sorry. See you. Yeah. But yeah, if you believe in the product, which I believe in Twitter, and if I want to go back to that, I will gladly shell out the $8 or whatever it is, to get verified.
Well, I do.
Well,
yeah.
I support Elon and what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't let you cancel your subscription, just alter your credit card number and voila.
So, Lee Anthony, we're probably going to wrap up here. So you probably don't need to bother jumping on, because we're already 20 minutes over, because the film strip went over.
But you knew we were going to go over, even though this movie is only, once again, it's a John Carpenter movie, so
we always go over.
It's an hour and a half long. There's no fat, but you knew we were going to go over because we love this movie. It is so awesome. Got to talk about how awesome it is.
And just remember, whenever you're using a rocket-propelled weapon, clear the back area.
When I see that, all I see is the scene in Rambo where he fires the law with all those guys in the back. I'm like, dude, you just murdered everybody in the back seat. Oh.
I don't even remember that.
You don't?
I know I saw that film. Which one was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think it's the second one where he's getting the Vietnam veterans out of the POW camp.
Oh, it's not it's an RPG-7. It's a Russian RPG-7. And yeah, everybody should have got fired.
He should have been roasted in the back seat of that Huey he was flying. Yeah, shit, yeah. Remember, he shoots it through the hole in the windshield.
Yep.
Yeah. The Russian guy has a Hind helicopter, and he blows it apart with the RPG. Yep.
That's one hell of an RPG.
I'm finding it pretty shameful because I'm a huge law enforcement supporter. But the shit going on with that protest in Ireland right now, there's a guy just standing on the sidewalk. He's not doing anything. He's not part of the protest. He's like over on the sidewalk, away from everybody. And then 3 Garda rush him, hit him. One guy knocks him to the ground with his shield, and they beat the shit out of this guy. And he's not resisting in any way. You can tell he's not resisting. You can physically tell when somebody's resisting. We've all seen it. They stiffen their body and they resist physically moving their arms. That you're forced to it. And they scream, "You're hurting me." This guy's not screaming anything. These cops are just beating the shit out of him. And I'm getting sick right now, as much as I support law enforcement, of seeing law enforcement in Canada and in Ireland and in the UK acting like jackboots.
Yes, they have been for a while.
They're trying to militarize the police force. They've been doing it forever, and it's
cops that
not a good
support that
trend.
shit pissed me off.
This.
I've yelled at him. I said, first of all, he said, because we're just like the military. I said, oh, really? You're property of the Department of Defense. What? Yeah, you didn't know that. You're conscripted into the military. They own you. Your body is their property.
Or a number
Is that
at
what it's
that
like?
point.
Oh, wait, no. Because as a police officer, you have a fucking union and a union rep. And you can actually quit at any time. You don't get to do that with the military. Also, weapons training every fucking day. Every day you're training. Every day. Not in law enforcement. Not in law enforcement. These guys don't train anywhere near what we trained in the military.
That's a problem.
That's why some of the best cops I've met, former military. What, honey?
I said, and that's a problem. That law enforcement doesn't do enough weapons training. That's why shit like that happens. That something is moving and the cop just shoots without checking.
Yeah.
Sad.
Well, I told people for a long time, and New York had a terrible, because they said over 50 shots or over 100 shots were fired at. I said, that's because New York has a rule that if you fire your weapon, you have to empty it.
And that's
if
stupid.
you have to fire your weapon, you have to empty it. It's a crazy fucking rule.
Yeah.
It is. That's ridiculous. The way I was taught was you fire until the threat is eliminated. And in other words, they can't move. That's
what common
you do.
sense is telling you.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm broken by seeing this shit. And so my buddy Noel just posted a video of this guy getting bum rushed by 3 cops and the shit beat out of him. And he immediately went to the ground. And it's like, why are 3 cops? And one of them's kneeling on this guy. Because that's a control, by the way. People don't know that. You control somebody. Because they were trying to say that, he put his knee in that guy's neck. I said, there are other angles, and the other angle shows it's not in his neck. It's right in the middle of the top of his back. And that's a control position. You keep the person from being able to do anything. You're taught to do that. We're taught to do it in the military, too. If you capture somebody, because, there are incidents, a lot of people don't think that there was a lot of captures in the first Gulf War. Those guys wanted to surrender.
Yeah, they were giving up their weapons and walking out. They hadn't eaten in days. It was ridiculous. Yeah.
Ammo. They were given weapons and told to hold a position or be killed. While the official Iraqi National Guard escaped.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, man. The Republican Guard. I'm sorry, not National Guard. Republican Guard. They're fucking assholes, man.
All right, Gerry.
Oh, wow. Vivek Ramaswamy.
He's the VP?
He just said, no. He just said, I think we came within a hair's breadth of an actual civil war in this country.
Oh, yep.
People don't know. The FBI is scared. Did you see what happened? They shut the investigation down and they're backing off.
What?
Because they said they couldn't open the guy's phone and all that shit. And it's
bullshit.
Like, you can open every phone from January 6th, but you can't get this guy's phone.
That's bullshit.
Must be an iPhone.
Oh, hey, Cam, about the modern classic movie. What's happening in Ireland and UK and Canada is shameful. Noel has been doing great coverage. I agree with you. He's a friend. He's been on our show, and I want to get him back on again. I love Noel. I'm friends with him on Facebook, too. And I just love the guy. And I lived in Ireland, and I just watched that country just get ruined over the last 20 years. It's just
Did you retweet any of that, Gerry? Did you retweet any of that?
I did not. Hold on. I'll do it right now.
I was fixing to say, for those of us that don't follow that guy, let's retweet that. So
I just reposted it so you can actually follow him. Noel's a great guy. He's a big Doctor Who fan, and he is one of the first ones. One of my friends from Ireland that stepped up against what's going on with Doctor Who, and because so few from Ireland that I know like Doctor Who, so I thought that was really cool. Noel's a fucking big fan, man. He's a big Doctor Who fan, and his show is called Noel Zone, and that's what he's. If you want to look him up, just look up at Noel, Noelzone, Noel Zone. Cool. A lovely fucking Irishman. I love him.
Love the Irish, period.
I always say this. I'm 88% Celt and 12% adopted Celt.
Nice.
And then the other part of the joke is one fucking lousy kraut fucked his way into the family, and I get stuck with his name.
I'm half Irish.
EBS is which half?
The better half.
The better half.
Right.
Hopefully not that half.
Time to
My mother's
run.
maiden name is McBriarty. I dare you to spell it. Go ahead.
Yeah, in our family
I've never
we
seen
have
so many vowels in one place.
The Krells, the Gibsons, the McWilliams, the Jenkins. The Jenkins were Welsh, actually. And you know what? If you go to Ireland, you can find Cassells there.
You can find the McBriarty's pub in the county they're from. My mom's been there. Yep.
So, but anyway, I love talking about this movie today. I love Escape from New York. It's absolutely my third favorite movie of all time, and will never change. It'll always the top 5 will never change. Again, Blade Runner, The Thing, Escape from New York, The Duelist by Ridley Scott, and Big Trouble in Little China. John Carpenter and Ridley Scott take up all the first 5 favorite films of all time with me.
Oh, man.
And ironically, I'm very critical of Ridley Scott as a director. Very critical. The times that he's done his best is when he had a great script to start with and also had supervision. Because, again, I'm going to point this out. What was that movie called? 48 Hours. Walter Hill is the writer-director of that film.
And it's awesome. Still my favorite Eddie Murphy movie to this day.
Jack, tell me a bedtime story. Fuck you. Oh, that's my favorite.
Firewater. Is that what you want, Tonto? Firewater? James Remar is awesome in that fucking movie.
Yeah, he was.
He's a scary individual.
I kind of wonder sometimes if he hadn't had the drug problem, what would have happened with Aliens?
What would have happened
if he had stayed in there as
You
Hicks?
see him here and there. He showed up again in the Cotton Club as a bad guy. You know, he's really good. It's a shame.
He's in
he went down that
Dexter.
path.
He plays Dexter's dad.
Really, I've never watched Dexter.
The ghost.
So, yeah.
His ghost. He plays his ghost. Because he's always talking to Dexter, trying to get him to do the right thing, but also protect yourself. But Walter Hill was why Alien was so amazing, because he was the script doctor on it, uncredited script doctor. He tweaked that script and made it work. And he was the version of Alan Ladd had him babysit Ridley. So he was on set just like Zanuck and Brown were with Spielberg on Jaws. They babysat him. They were there for almost every single day of shooting. And the reason why is they were there to make sure he didn't go off script or do something that was just not going to be good for the movie. They were babysitters.
So what you're telling me is Zack Snyder is the modern day Ridley Scott. He's better
Zack
when he
Snyder
does other
is
people's
Ridley Scott
material.
without a Wrangler.
Yeah.
And his first movies are his best for a reason. I can't stand anything he's put out. in the last few years. I don't like anything he's got on Netflix.
Are you going to watch Gladiator 2?
No.
If I do, it will be for free, and I will watch it only because I love Denzel Washington.
I was fixing to say, that's about the only selling point of this thing, right? Yeah, that's about it.
Gary
I
Beekler.
do like the guy, or excuse me, I do like the girl that plays the mom in Gladiator, and she's in this one too. I can't remember the girl's name, but she was in Soldier. She's the love interest.
Connie Nielsen.
Yeah,
she's gorgeous. I love her.
She was Wonder Woman's mother.
Wonder Woman's mama. That's right. Mm-hmm.
There,
Denzel about the only selling.
Oh my God, I've yet to get this out. I'm waiting for my turn. Gary Beekler fixed the trailer. If you didn't see it, he took out the rap song.
Did he?
And he put in Smash Mouth. God, what was that song? Is it Smash Mouth? It's the song All Star. I'm an all-star.
Hey now, yeah, I did see that. Yes, I did.
He replaced it with that song, and I just fucking cracked up laughing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
that just cracked me up. Yeah, thank you, Monkey. Monkey said it before, and I didn't look over there. If I'd seen your comment, I would have remembered the name of the song. But I like that Gary did that. It was funny.
Yeah.
And hey, deleted scenes do the name of Connie Nielsen. There you go. What's this? I understand they want silent people voices. And yeah, they want compliance. And this is why you can never let your government disarm you. Because that's how they'll enforce compliance. Right now, American people are still a threat. And as it's been said, the citizens should never be afraid of their government. The government should be afraid of their citizens. Period.
Facts.
So there you go, man. So people want to know what I am. I'm a libertarian, really, more than anything. It's just the conservative comes out of me when I start talking about the military, because unlike libertarians, I actually support a strong and healthy military. For our defense. Absolutely. I don't think we should be poking our nose in everybody's fucking business. But every once in a while, look, man, I lived in an apartment complex. And sometimes I had to intercede in situations. And the world is just a giant fucking apartment complex. And occasionally there's an asshole beating his wife. And calling the cops ain't always going to be the way to save her. And I'm actually talking about a specific incident that took place with me where I pretty much almost killed this guy.
What's going on with you, Joe?
It's a feature that the new Apple products have.
Okay.
You make certain things, like if you do the rock and roll, right? It'll do lasers and stuff if you do it correctly.
We'll do it correctly. I want to see this.
So
if you're not promoting it.
My brother does it all the time on the show. There it is.
There it is. Look at that.
Oh, that is so cool.
It's just something new on the Apple products. Yeah.
I like that.
Yep.
Lee, the next wait, is tomorrow repeat or is it a new episode, Martin?
New episode is Clute.
So that'll be tomorrow with the Chief. It's always a good breakdown, what he does on that show. I love what he does. And then Wednesday, we will be doing the movie Popeye with Shelley Duvall and Robin Williams. It's a classic film. It's not a perfect film, but I fucking love that movie. I loved it the minute I saw it. I was 16 when it came out. I love that movie.
I used to have the poster on my closet door. Yep.
I loved Robin Williams' performance as Popeye.
Mm-hmm. The poster had him and olive oil back to back. It was.
I love Williams and everything he does.
Well, he does the mumbling, and I love that he does the mumbling. And it's perfect. So, but anyway, we've been at this. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes. Let's end this stream. Let's put a fork in it.
Now I'm hungry. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's what we do. I'm hungry too. I haven't eaten. I need to eat something. So I'm looking to see if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. That's everything. All right, let's end this show. I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank Slasher Fred. Great comments today, guys. Really. Penny, always glad to see you. Sci-Fi Mombi was here early on. I'm not sure she stayed for the whole show because I kind of just sort of disappeared. I love the laser show. Deleted Scenes, my good friend Stephen. Tree Rock Creations. Shinatsky was here. Tree Rock Creations. We said it twice because Martin wrote it twice. He really likes Tree Rock Creation. Country Shape Media. Monkey Juba Thinker, come again. Snortopupus was here. Hello.
Our favorite polar bear.
Our good friend Tim. Cam's Crash Courses. Glad you showed up, Cam. Scribe Light. Zax, Kyle. Glenn Fleming. And Lee Anthony David. I want to thank all of you for being here today. It was great. Thanks for popping in, Joe. I'm sorry that our other friends didn't make it. I think they forgot. And of course, Anima, thank you for being my right-hand person to my right on the screen. They're right, not mine. And of course, Martin, thanks for being the right side of my brain. And we will get the fuck out of here. Have a great week, guys.